so I couldn't refuse Li Qi's offer. What Li Hong said just now was right. Your vigilance is too low. Even if we are Li Qi's people, you shouldn't expose yourself either. If we were other demi, the people sent by Getter to spy on Li Qi. I don't believe you because of Li Qi. That's because my mother, Sheila, trusts you. Heard. You and your mother have met in the inner world of the sacred tree. Mother, thank you so much for your continued efforts. A simple thank you won't get us away. You don't need to say it. This seat also knows. Come with me. I'm here to give you some good stuff. If what kind of vegetable? I can't spare you. That's it. Frey and the others followed Snora to the bottom of the palace. Where are we going? Go to the rhizome of the world tree. You're the first to get in. Several of them are now clearly underground, but it's still very bright. Is this a fly that emits light? Those are elves. It's truly a rare sight in the world. We're here. That's what I'm going to give you. There was even a tree in the tree. This is the essence of the world tree. After some selection, Snow stretched his hand and plucked 2 fruits from the tree. Eat him. As she spoke, Snora handed the fruit to the 2 Freys. Didn't I say I didn't want to eat vegetables anymore? This is not a vegetable. This is the fruit. Is there any difference? This is no ordinary fruit. Just eat him. Doubles your magic power in a single day. Looks like I'm going to have to thank Sheila Lang. As he spoke, Frey put the fruit into the space bag. Don't you eat it. I just don't eat it for a while. Unprepared with the fragile body of a human being. You may have to stay in bed for a week if you take this fruit. I'll talk about it when I'm ready. You're so bored. See how casual your friends are. That's when Frey knew. Li Hong directly will. The whole fruit was swallowed in one gulp. Are you crazy? Didn't you hear what I just said? The next second, a terrifying magic erupted in Li Hong's body. Calm your mind. Although I temporarily dispelled his magic. But it's going to come back soon. This woman actually poisoned me. Shut up and focus. Snowa, on the other hand, began to gloat. It looks like the village will be quiet this week. I'm going to kill you. It's all your fault. As she spoke, Snora took off her mask. Because it's really fun to fight. It didn't take long. The elves threw a feast for Frey. Be a hero who saved the village. Frey is favored by a lot of elves. They don't stop expressing his affection to Frey, although lived for so many years. But Frey didn't know how to deal with the situation. He even began to envy Li Hong, who had eaten the grain. Love is the hero who saved the elven village. Frey was favored by many young elves. He clearly couldn't take the enthusiasm of these elves. What's going on? How our big hero looks a little embarrassed. The person who came was none other than Frey's old acquaintance, Camille. You're for the previous bazaar. Let's go now. It turned out that Frey was not used to this feeling. He wanted Camille to help him cope. Soon after, Frey finally escaped from the elves. But he didn't expect it. Snora was waiting at Ciros's house early in the morning. His Majesty. Then I'll quit first. After Shiros left, only Frey and Snora were left. When I first came here, Heroes is my friend who talks about everything. He didn't care about this seat at all. The identity of the Ice Elves. What happened to you? Did you kill another ancient dragon? I wish it were. I was. It shouldn't disturb your rest. But get ready to go with me to meet Richie. He seemed to say that he had something to discuss with us. That's it. Snora took Frey on his way to meet Richie. As the queen of the great forest, is it really okay to leave the village without permission? Of course it's fine. As long as you don't get discovered. We've got to hurry. Richie, he doesn't like to wait for people. Are you going to go on a walk? The movement of the teleportation was too loud. We can't do it any other way. As soon as the words fell, Frey was directly at the feet of the two. Construct a teleportation magic. Snora was curious. Why did Frey use teleportation magic? Want to pass it to Richie's residence. Don't you have to draw a magic circle over there? That's right. But I don't need to. With that, Frey and the two disappeared into the teleportation array. It didn't take long. The two appeared right in front of Richie's house. This kind of magic really surprised Snorra a little. He didn't expect that. Frey was able to teleport here with just the coordinates. Wait for Frey and the others to open the door. Only to find that Richie had already prepared space magic. Come and greet the two. Now come here. It just so happens that I have something I want to ask Richie about. Snorra couldn't help but wonder. What exactly does Frey want to do? You're here. Let's sit down and have a cup of tea. Snorra obediently sat down. But Frey had no intention of sitting down. You already know that. Oladin is not Nor's teeth. For this matter. How are you going to explain it to me? I just didn't think that would work. As he spoke, Richie placed the peeled apple on the table. Unexpectedly, Frey kicked the apple away. Frey, what the hell are you going to do? What are you kidding? Because of your word. The three of us nearly lost our lives. So you're trying to get me to apologize to you. Not that I want it. It's you who have to do it. Nora didn't understand. Why did Frey provoke Richie so much? To know. Richie is one of the 5 destroyers of Demi-Dut. Well, I'm sorry. In the future, I will analyze the reliability of the information. Noira didn't expect Rich to actually apologize. After the purpose is achieved, Frey sat down generously. That's when Snorra knew. Frey was trying to test Richie. Is it really betrayed Demi Knight? If it's fake, Strange must not have been able to tolerate Frey's insults to him. But in case Richie really is the enemy, Nefri and Snowa, there is a high probability that they will die on the spot. He is one of the 5 destroyers of Demigate. Just hook your finger, and you'll be able to wipe Frey to ashes. But Frey repeatedly provoked Richie. It turned out that Frey was wondering, did he really betray the Demigate family? Fortunately, the final result did not disappoint Frey. And Richie called them over this time. It was to show Frey something. What is it? This is the crystallization of Andra's explosion. The energy in this. And the crystallization of Lux before. Not a level at all. If you can absorb this, Frey believed, you can enter the realm of 8 stars in an instant. It is even possible to gain access to Andra's divine powers. But the price of gaining divine power is Frey loses his mana. This also means Frey was no longer a magician. What do you want to do with me? Drink that thing. After 3 months, join me for an internal meeting with Demigate. Internal meetings. It wasn't just Demigate and his minions. To participate. That's right. So Frey is my minion. Richie, what do you mean by that? Even if Frey uses the power of other demigates, gain divine powers, he can't be your fangs. His Holiness will also attend the meeting. Aren't you afraid of being discovered by them? Demigate is not an omniscient being. It's like I didn't find Oladin to be bait. His Holiness also makes some mistakes. So you're trying for me to drink this to gain divine power. Then pretend to be your teeth. I'm sorry, I can't agree to your request. Why? Because I'm a magician. I don't want to lose my magic for the sake of divine power. You're doing this for the dignity of a magician. I'm just doing this to deal with Gamegate. If you can have both divine power and magical power. So what will you choose? No need to ask. It makes no sense to assume at all. This is not a hypothesis. If it's you, it can definitely be done. Because you're different from everyone else. You are a member of the Black family. What did you suddenly mention about my family? I knew this a long time ago. The 3rd son of the Black family is uneducated. I don't know anything about magic. In the end, he was abandoned by his family. Actually, when I first met you, even I was taken aback. After all, the wife of the Black family turned out to be a strong man. He also shouted to punish Demigate. But you're Demigate. Why do you know so much about a human family? Not a single Demigate. I don't know about your Black family. In simple terms, your Black family is an experiment. Since a long time ago, we're just looking into it. A way to make divine power and magic exist at the same time. And the overall person in charge of this program. It's Rainfrey the Destroyer. Although it is not known who Rhine is. But he silently wrote down the name in his mind. After tens of thousands of failures and hundreds of years of research, eventually, He created the black family you belong to. Wait a minute. Could it be that the black family was created by Demigate? That's right, because the Gastwuk Empire was deeply affected. The influence of the Demigators. So, the information that Frey got earlier. It all makes sense. Sapler once said, Lit Black approached Demigate. Plus before Shaz. Say that Frey is also a member of the black family. And even proposed. Tell Frey to stop learning magic. So, all the puzzles are solved. All the puzzles are solved. Frey's black family. It turned out to be the product of the research of the Demigate family. Even if the people of your family become minions. Nor does it lose its magic. So drink the crystals and join me in the meeting. Until this moment, Frey just knew. Crossing into this body by yourself. Probably not by accident. Too much information was accepted at once. Frey needed a little time to digest it. Give me a little more time. Let me think about it. Said. Frey placed Andra's crystals in the space bag. I can give you time to think about it. But don't keep me waiting too long. Because I don't like to wait for others. The screen turns. Come to the Torkin Mountains. The immortal bird lived up to its trust and became the king here. The Torquan dragon as the predator of the undead birds. Now they can only prostrate at his feet. After completing what Frey had entrusted him with, the immortal bird shifted its gaze into the distance. It was a mountain towering into the sky. It is also the residence of Frey's friends. The immortal bird has been in this mountain range for so long. I haven't set foot on this island once. So he decided to come here to find out. But at this moment, the undead bird meets a human on the island. It stands to reason that no human being could set foot here. Suddenly, a stinging pain struck the undead bird's head. He remembered the woman, the fear that had once brought him something. The immortal bird is clear. Those are Talquay's memories. It's just that Torquay doesn't know what's in front of him. Who is this woman? In order to know the identity of this person, the immortal bird followed. Soon the immortal bird followed the woman. Came to the entrance of the Hughest dungeon. See what you're looking for. The woman was a little excited. Someone entered the last room. The immortal bird didn't understand it at all. What is the woman in front of you saying? Great, I've waited so long. You're finally back. What does that mean? Who is that person in your mouth? Tell me who you really are. What exactly is the purpose? But the immortal bird hasn't touched the woman yet. The woman turned into a cloud of smoke and vanished. The immortal bird was curious. What the hell is that woman who is sacred? If you follow Tolton's memory, then he has lived for at least 1,000 years. Meanwhile, Li Hong is still in the rhizome of the world tree. Absorb the magic of the fruit. And here is what Frey can think of. The only place that won't be disturbed. If you want to absorb the crystals of Demigate, Frey will have to spend at least a week or so. There is food and water next to Li Hong. You can rest assured that you can cultivate here. You're really excessive. He's a carnivore. I think it's kind of fun. I'll go first. Hopefully you will survive. Frey is well aware. This body can have both magic and divine powers. It's no longer human. If Frey absorbs Andra's crystals, then he can no longer be called a human being. But as long as you can kill the Demigate family, even if it becomes a monster, Frey was also willing. Almost at the moment of swallowing the crystal, a powerful divine power poured out of Frey's body. Meanwhile, Snorra was staring at the world tree in the distance. He couldn't understand it. Frey, who can hold both divine and magical powers. What kind of existence will it become? He didn't expect it either. A human with a lifespan of less than 100 years can be given to him. So much fun. Gain the power to defeat Demigate. Frey gave up his dignity as an archmage. From the moment he swallowed Andra's divine power crystal, Frey can no longer be called human. A few days later, Li Hong woke up. Finally suppressed the restless magic. I'm exhausted. But Snorra really didn't lie to me. I feel like I'm getting stronger. That's when it happened. He spotted Frey behind him. Do you want to have some too? Lao Tzu would rather starve to death. Anyway, I've been sitting here for a few days. 9 days later, Li Hong suddenly discovered Frey at the moment. Although it looks like a normal human, but I can be in him. Seeing the figure of his master. You seem to be getting stronger again. That's right, I'm 8 stars now. How old are you this year? I'm about 20 years old. Then remember to call me Big Brother in the future. It seems that our mission this time has also been accomplished. 20-year-old Brazilian magician Li Hong. Unexpectedly, there are more demonic beings in the world than themselves. Maybe Frey can really succeed in his crusade against demi-dut. It's almost time for me to do my own thing. What's up? I've been looking for Kaskin's relics before. Listen to the master. Wanna surpass Kaskin? You have to find the 3 artifacts he left behind. Who is the master in your mouth? The heir to the previous Wu King's power. He was an old man with a violent personality. The strength is also very great. Looks like you're following him. So what are your plans for the future? Li Qi asked me to pretend to be his teeth. Attend a meeting of the Demigate family. That's too surprising. The time to come. Frey told Spirit what had happened in the past few days. Other words. You now. It is a hybrid that can use both divine and magical powers. You're right. Now it seems. I am indeed a mongrel. I didn't expect it to be like this. You're really miserable. Not long after. Frey was about to part with Li Hong. Siros, this fool, will trouble you. Actually, nothing. I'm just taking him out of the forest. That being said, Siros blushed and glanced at Li Hong. 1.5 years later. There is a meeting between the major organizations. When the time comes, a large group of important people will come. What are you talking to me about? I'm going to make a big fuss then. Didn't you say that? Now the major organizations are such dirty places as pigsties. It's going to have to be a big cleanup. And then you don't have nothing to do all day. How do you always like to be Riddler? What the hell are you trying to say? Let's have a big fight. Let those who organize know. What the hell are you going to do? Hear Frey's words. Li Hong couldn't help laughing. That's it. We'll see you in 1.5 years. That's it. Frey looked at the figures of Siros and Li Hong. Fade away. But after the two left, Frey immediately changed his expression. What do you want to do, Snoa? As soon as the words fell, Snora jumped from the tree behind her. When wearing this dress, it's better for you to call this Sophia. I can't tell the difference. I didn't expect the change to be so big. Is this the power of crystallization? Are you now ready to go to Sword Ridge? Let this work accompany you. Soon, the figures of the two reappeared in front of Richie's house. Just as Frey was about to open the room, suddenly, he received a message from Richie. Don't come in, find a place to hide. Immediately abandoned the dignity of a magician. In the end, he chose to accept Demigate's divine powers. But when Frey finds Richie, Richie sent a message to Frey to hide. The next second, a monster that looks like Medusa walked out of Richie's house. It's weird. I've just met. Ming sensed the fluctuation of mana. I guess it's your delusion. There is no one else here but us. But I always feel it. You seem to be hiding something from me. The two Frey realized. The monster in front of him is also a demigate. Because I was too nervous. Noira stumbled and nearly fell to the ground. The movement in the woods was also discovered by Demigate. Where are you going? There seems to be someone over there. That's my minions. Didn't you just say it was my delusion? You don't know. Are we going to hide the identities of our minions from each other? You're right. That's what His Holiness taught us. But you seem to have forgotten one thing. My eyes are good. I didn't expect your minions to be elves. So what do you want to say? If memory serves. The bait that Nor made not long ago was also an elf. The moment he finished speaking, Richie drew his sword. Demigate was cut into 3 pieces in an instant. Finally found it. It turns out that you are a traitor. Great. I'm going to tell Anunta about this. Can be a second. Richie smashes his doppelganger to pieces. 7 Demigate's blood splashed in front of Frey and the others. They found. The blood of this demigate is strongly toxic. And Frey hadn't even seen Richie draw his knife just now. He realized the gap between himself and the destroyer is too great. Ran away from two. Hear this. Frey's pupils shrank suddenly. One fled to the south. Another fled into the woods. Leave the one in the woods to us. Hydra is extremely vital and toxic. Be careful. His blood, if he accidentally got a little bit on it, it instantly turns into blood. His weakness is fire. Even if it was cut into 9 sections. He's also demigate. Wait until I'm done dealing with the south side. I'm going to look for you. Meanwhile, Hydra found I. The traders of the Mage clan seemed very happy. Frey and Snorra were in hot pursuit. Spread out and find it. There was no battle plan. Just do your own thing. Soon, Frey spotted Hydra in front of him. Because his weakness is fire, Frey immediately used smoke hell. But to Frey's surprise, Hydra escaped from the smoke hell. Merely, his body had been burned by the magic he had just had. Can be a second. Hydra's right body grew back on, almost at the same time. Snorra slashed at Hydra, but Hydra's tenacious vitality renders Nora's slash useless. Hydra even had time. A cloud of venom spews at Snowa. If at the current distance, Snorra simply didn't have time to dodge. Moment of truth. A magical barrier blocked Hydra's venom. Just a few minutes of effort. Hydra grew a second head. Snorra was clear. He now has to work for Frey. Fight for time to unleash the magic. The next second, Hydra's 2 heads. It slammed right into Snorra. Fortunately, Snorra reacted in a timely manner. He put a knife in Hydra's mouth. After the weakening of Hydra's power, Snorra stabbed both of his heads back. Snorra couldn't imagine. Even Demigate has been cut into 9 sections. But he still has such a strong strength. Della has only 1/9 of his strength left. But he can still crush the Elven Queen with ease. The only thing Snorra's can do now. It's about buying time for Frey. It's really Richie's minions. But I don't know if you can stop it. As soon as the words fell, Hydra spat out a burst of snake whispering. Every snake in it. All possessed the toxicity of Hydra's horror. Once one is missed, Snorra would turn into blood on the spot. Minutes and seconds passed. Snorra began to become overwhelmed. His mask also fell off. The dense snake language made him take care of himself. Although Snorra is eager to avenge her people, but the difference in strength between him and Demigate is too great. Snorra was completely out of energy. All that awaits him is death. Moment of truth. A familiar magic shield appears on Snorra again. And Hydra. At this time, he also discovered the anomaly behind him. He wondered why the sun was in the north. But he soon found out. The real sun is slowly setting. And this sun to the north is slowly approaching himself with a person. It turned out that this was an 8-star magic that Frey had been preparing for a long time. Eternally scorching. As Frey pressed his hand down, Hydra was swallowed by the sun in front of him. Intense glow. It also made Nora on the ground open her eyes. He saw Demi Night, who can't resist even with all her might, dissipated in the air. He couldn't imagine. Frey used only one spell. Kill the mighty Demi Night. Snorra suddenly realized. Perhaps in this war, yourself is just a liability. But Snorra didn't know. Frey for today's moment. It took 4,000 years. In that dark abyss, Frey studied the magic path. Nothing else can be done. Now after breaking through 8 stars, Frey was finally available for 4,000 years. The result of his own research day and night. Now there is even confidence that he can beat Demigate. After one group was picked up by Frey, Snorra also slowly recovered. He couldn't imagine. Frey after defeating a Demidet. I didn't even look tired at all. That's when it happened. Richie also after taking out the clone in the south. Rushed over. Seen Frey take out Demigate's doppelganger. Richie was also a little surprised. Although only 1/9 of the strength of Demigate. But this is still not something that humans can easily do. Soon after, Beechcraft took the two back to his home again. News of Hydra's killing. Ananta should find out soon. Ananta is the destroyer who is good at using poison. That's when Frey knew. Demigate, who fought with himself 4,000 years ago. It's called Ananta. Look at the way you look. I think I've already decided. The crystals you gave me have been absorbed, but I haven't tested the divine power in my body yet. Unexpectedly, you can easily grasp the power of Demigate. It's not as hard as you think. The meeting will be held in 3 months. You can't use magic during this time. You have to become proficient in using your divine powers as soon as possible. His Holiness is not an all-knowing and all-powerful God, but his eyesight is good. You must not let him see that he can use magic. Then start training now. I'm going to have to say something ugly. The training process can be very hard. Can you hold on? Frey finally decides to pretend to be Richie's minions. Attend a meeting between Demigate. In order not to be discovered by his Holiness, Frey must quickly learn how to use divine powers. Just as Frey followed Richie to leave, Snora suddenly rushed over and hugged Frey. I've heard that humans were separated from their best friends. We'll hug each other. That being said, but there was a flush on Nora's cheeks. But he had already betrayed him. That's a shame. If you are holding Li Hong, I guess he'll pull it himself. But Richie was curious. I haven't heard of it myself. There is also such a ritual among human beings. Today's separation. I don't know when we'll meet again. I hope you're all well. Time flies. 2 months have passed. This time, Frey had been training his powers with Richie. The content of the training is simple. As long as Frey can use divine powers, just force Richie to draw his knife. That being said, but during this 2-month period, Rich didn't even touch the hilt. All he had to do was wave his hand. Can be easily dispersed. Thunder and lightning created by Frey with divine power. But Frey was not without growth during this time. He used Andra's divine powers. Created a lot of new moves. Nowadays he uses. That's what he can do at this stage. The most powerful attack. It's a pity. The lightning still didn't touch Richie's body. But the purpose of the training has been achieved. Richie drew his sword. Great. You've finally drawn your sword. You're qualified. This concludes the training. Actually, Richie didn't expect it either. Frey was able to meet his requirements within 2 months. Now it seems, his talent is even stronger than that of Snora. No one comes to me these days. It seems that Hydra's affairs have not yet been discovered. It's about the same time now. It's time for us to go out to the meeting. We'll be in pilot. Use the portal to travel to the kingdom of Luyanov. You at Demigate also uses a portal. If you want to turn into a puddle of blood, let's use the time-traveling spell now. That's it. Frey followed Richie and began walking to pilot. But Frey never thought of it. This kind of thing will happen to you one day. I planted this tree. I drove this way. I want to live from now on. Leave to buy road money. Met our red-eyed bandits. Count you both out of luck. Hand over all your belongings. Then we may be able to spare your lives. Even if you want to kill me, too. Bastard, you guy is as skinny as a bamboo pole. The knife in his hand is not bad. Give us the money and spare our lives. Are you the legendary heroes of the Green Forest? Crooked. If you die, you won't take the money. I'll kill you. I'm sorry. I don't know much about the world yet. Just as Richie was about to shell out the money, Frey reached out and stopped him. With a snap of Frey's fingers, the terrifying thunder and lightning instantly engulfed the red-eyed bandits. Almost in the blink of an eye, the bandits who were still menacing just now, they were all lying on the ground. You've used your divine powers. Why didn't they be killed? Because it's just this group of goods. Killing them is too dirty for Lao Tzu's hands. With that, Frey continued on his way. But Richie had no intention of leaving. What are you doing? Why don't you go quickly? You humans are multifaceted. It's really interesting. Hear Li Chi's words. Frey turned his head. What do you mean? Not sometime. It's not early, let's go. The meeting between gates will begin in a month's time. Meanwhile, A secret organization on the human side is having a conversation. I think I've heard that the knife is in action. Yes, that's why we're together. Miss Charl. Cheryl is Pissaman's second-in-command in the night, although it looks like a girl. But she's actually a vampire who's hundreds of years old. Do you know where she's going? The news we got was pilot. So, it's up to a few of us to deal with Gamegate. Have you forgotten that we dealt with Nalsh? At the expense of Traumen's roundtable. But in the end, only Nors was obtained. Is Demigate, who manipulates death, a broken piece of information? Rest assured, we're not here to crusade against anyone. To be exact, our purpose this time is to track. You seem to be very young. What's your name? My name is Shaz Black. He is the second son of the Black family. Straw insurers will be the smallest cadres. I think you seemed pretty famous. I've heard that Demigate is going to get together. How do you know? Hear Cheryl's words. Shaz was silent. I know. Could it be that you eavesdropped on your father's conversation? You don't have to be afraid, little one. I heard that it was you who killed your relatives in righteousness. Denounced his father in person. But it's hard to hear. You're the most suspicious. After all, who would want to believe in a rebel who sells his belly for glory? After a moment of silence, Charles began to continue sharing information. The meeting place is somewhere in Luyunov. The knife will use a portal and pilot. Travel to Luyunov. Doesn't Demigate teleport? Mr. Jerome, you mentioned it. Demigate uses portals. It's to bring the apostles who can't teleport in space. Heard about this meeting. The Demigates would take their apostles with them. Are you sure? That's what we do at all costs. The cause of this matter is also investigated. Dozens of Demigate gathered for a meeting. This is the first time. There must be some conspiracy among them. Even so, stalking a Demigate is no different from committing suicide. Be a little careless. We could be wiped out. But only the words of the apostles. If discovered, it's better to just kill it. Meanwhile, Frey and Richie have arrived at Pilot. This time, Frey is still using Carl's identity in order to avoid those unnecessary troubles. Rich also faked a fake identity, but Frey didn't expect that. Richie's fake identity actually uses his real name. After entering Pilot, the two for the first time, I went and applied for the right to use the portal, but unfortunately, they won't be able to ride the portal until 3 days later, since there are still a few days left. Then I'll go out first. Frey was curious. What can Beechcraft do in Pilot? I'm going to Black's house. They already knew I was coming. Even if I don't go, they will also send people to me. Even if you change your face, I don't want to give it to you because of that. Cause trouble. And I'm over now. Maybe you can find out about the Rhine's movements. Because I think your father is the fangs of the Rhine. To be honest, I don't want to talk about it. Although the major organizations already know. He and Demigate were in the same boat. But no one doubted that he would be teething. Because he's been using magic until now. We are the Black family. It can contain both divine and magical powers. Probably the most fatal weakness for organizations. Report Lit's movements to the people of the major organizations. It's Char's, but Frey is curious. Char's. Why the secrets of the Black family were not revealed. He couldn't help but be suspicious. Could it be that there is another conspiracy in Zayas? Lot is the domain of the Black family. In order not to cause unnecessary trouble to Frey, Richie decides to take the initiative to go to the Black family. Before leaving, Richie told Frey, someone is stalking them. Frey was curious. Why didn't I notice it at all? Someone is using the beginning and end to observe secretly. It turns out that Richie was living in the forest. He was always watched. Now these people see Richie take back the barrier. In person, will definitely be secretly tracked. I kind of know. Those guys in your mouth. It's supposed to be a member of a big organization. If nothing else, they should all be cadres-level masters. After I left, they're definitely going to have their eye on you. After all, compared to Demigate, they prefer to face a minion. What are you going to do? If you want, I'm going to go out and kill them now. Still don't use it. I'm also curious about the strength of the people in these organizations. It's kind of interesting. So you're trying to test their value. You'd better be careful. I don't want our plans to fail because of these people. After Richie is gone, a moth flew into the tavern. Meanwhile, someone from the bell tower secretly observes Richie's figure. Where is this kid going? That direction seems to be the Black House. I'm from the Black family. Leave the task of monitoring the knife to me. Before leaving, Charles glanced at Cheryl, who had her eyes closed. Originally, the person who used the demon to spy on Frey was none other than Cheryl, who was the man next to the knife. He is a mercenary named Carl Rackdun, disappeared about 2 months ago while on a mission. There is no need to investigate his identity anymore. At first glance, it looks like an imposter. I'll reopen my investigation. No need for me to do it myself. Time is fast. In the evening, Cheryl was sure. There is no one around to follow you. Then he didn't hesitate to bite his finger. After this, Cheryl drew a summoning circle on the ground with her blood. It didn't take long. I saw a surge of demonic energy in the summoning array. A demon appears in the summoning circle. It's been a long time. Charl Lilith, I have one thing I want to ask you for. How could I possibly refuse? What about our cute little bats? I want you. Go to the 3rd floor of a hotel in the west side of Pilot. Help me investigate a guy named Carl Rackdun. You summoned me, the Queen of Succubus. Is it just to investigate a human being? No clues can be left in the investigation. Now I can believe it. It's only you, the Grand Duke of the Demon Realm. You're really good at talking. It's not in vain that I love you so much. Say, what do you want me to investigate? You check it for me. Did the Demigate have a meeting? If any, what is their purpose? Rest assured, my cute little bat. I'll be back soon. After Lilith left, Cheryl began to pass the time reading a book on the sidelines. It didn't take long. Lilith's figure appeared right next to Cheryl. I'm really sorry. My cute little bat, I failed. Is she really human? General, as long as my ass is cocked, no man can stand it. But the kid didn't pay any attention to me. What kind of man is he? No wonder he became a magician. Investigate intelligence about Demigate. Cheryl sent the Grand Duke of the Demon Realm, Succubus Queen Lilith. But here's the surprise. Frey actually resisted Lilith's temptation completely. I've heard. Humans remain virgins until the age of 30. You can awaken your magic and become a magician. But he doesn't look like he's in his 30s. Originally, I wanted to forcibly seize his memory. But because it's too dangerous, I just gave up. That kid. He also signed a contract with the Grand Duke of the Demon World. Hear this. Cheryl was also taken aback. Although I don't know who the other party is. But keep looking. We will definitely be exposed. Meanwhile, Azura was sitting next to Frey, who looked scared. I really didn't expect that. The other side will send the Succubus Queen into my dreams. I almost couldn't help it. Thank you. If not you, I might have to go to the bathroom to wash my underwear for the night. Even without me, shouldn't you be able to hold on to it with your mental strength? If only he had been a little stronger. I'm probably going to surrender right away. Just a succubus. I can actually sit in a position of great achievement. What else does he have to do besides that mouth? It's disgusting. After the Azura left, Frey began to analyze the approximate strength of the people sent by the organization, able to summon the great feats of the demon realm. If nothing else, it should be the vice president of Pizaman Knight. Li Hong also told Frey before. Vice president of Pizaman Knight. It's a vampire named Cheryl. So Frey had a headache. After all, we will have to fight side by side in the future. It definitely can't hurt his heart, and now even if Frey explains, Cheryl won't stop either. The next day, Richie is finally back. But it's a pity. He didn't find anything. I didn't find Rhine and Lit Black. Then why are you only coming back now? I met your second brother. He was the one who helped me lead the way. Originally, I wanted to come back directly, but I happened to meet him at the door. Frey was clear. This is a good thing that they have arranged a long time ago. Ridge goes to black. Family organization. We'll definitely send a little bit of the smallest chars to keep an eye on him. However, Frey did not tell Richaz who he was. After all, in Frey's eyes, Richie is also demigate. As it stands, organizations are already joining forces. How about your side? Someone must have been sent from the other side. I don't know very well, but they look very deliberate. I guess when the time comes, they'll get close to me. Richie knew very well what Frey was hiding from him. But Richie didn't ask much. Soon after, the two of them came to the largest city in Luyanov. Lupe Frey was curious. It's hard to do it. This is where the demigates chose the meeting place. We're just here to do something first. I didn't expect that. They came with them again. Frey didn't expect it either. The people of that organization would be stupid enough to be like this. He was curious. Don't those people know? Is it dangerous to track demigate? In the future, we may be able to join forces. So I don't want to kill them here. So what do you want to do? It occurred to me that I had an idea. Humanity is faced with this situation. There's a very good way to do it. Otherwise, this time, I'm going to learn from your human methods. After speaking, Rich suddenly sped up and ran through the crowd. The destroyer of Rigate has been discovered by humans, but Richie's first choice was to run away. Originally, in order to be able to kill Demigate together in the future, Rich didn't want to kill these people in the order, although Cheryl and the others followed as soon as possible. It's a pity, though. They eventually lost it. Meanwhile, Frey and Richie, already in one of the alleys of Lupe. It looks like we've got rid of them. It's quite fun to play with once in a while. You go in and get the mask. There will be a man in an old hat to receive you inside. What to do with the mask? He can hide the divine power in your body. You can't reveal your identity. Otherwise, you will not be able to participate in this meeting. Don't you have to go in? The man inside was His Holiness's subordinate. If you go in together, he will see that you are my minion. After entering, Frey found that inside was a long flight of stairs. Frey didn't expect that. On the backside of the kingdom of Luyanov, there is still such a place. After a long time, a room appeared in front of Frey. Look at what's in the room. It's like an ordinary antique shop, and except for antiques, there are only a few dilapidated magic chests here. Welcome. Please, is there something wrong with you? Frey discovered. This girl in front of you. There is no breath of a living person on his body. This means that the clerk here is also a magic chest. I didn't expect you to look young. The eyesight is not bad. I saw a man with green hair open the curtain. Walked out of Ellie. You stand down. I'm going to entertain this guest myself. Welcome to the grocery store in Hart. I'm the boss here. Hart saw the hat the man was wearing. Frey knew that Hart was His Holiness's subordinate. I didn't expect you to be quite tight-mouthed. As he spoke, Hart pulled out a mask. If I'm not mistaken, you should have come to get this. Frey didn't say anything. Directly reached out and prepared to take the face from Hart's hand. But at this moment, Halt saw it. The great sage's staff on Frey's wrist. Hart jerked to his feet. Wait a minute. Can you show me your bracelet? Nothing in the world can fool my eyes. Not sure what it is, though, but certainly a treasure. I haven't seen it in a long time. Such a rare magic item. If you guessed it right, that should be a product of the Age of Light. I'm sorry I can't show you this. Even I don't have the confidence to make such a treasure. Let me take a look. I appreciate your craftsmanship, but I can't let you see it. If you say so, then I'll have to make a ruthless move. I advise you not to be impulsive, in case something happens. I can't guarantee your safety. But Frey didn't expect that. Hart actually knelt at his feet. Please, just let me take a look. Scared the hell out of me. Is this what you call a ruthless move? No matter what Frey says. Hart grabbed Frey's clothes. Won't let go. By the way, I just wanted to ask you a question. Okay, just ask. Can you make a golem with 1 million mana? Halter's eyes widened for a moment. Does that really exist? No, I'm just curious to ask. If it really exists, it should be difficult to make too. Behind the wooden door is a mysterious antique shop, and the owner of the antique shop, he is also a man who has studied alchemy a lot. Frey asked Hart, is it possible to make a dream with a value of 1 million? But the answer is still almost impossible. And so it was. The number one alchemist I know said the same. But Hart, who heard this, laughed. The world's number one alchemist? Are you kidding? Listen up. A person who is qualified to call himself the number one alchemist in the world. There are only 3 in the entire continent. The first is the Tower Master of the 11-story Magic Tower. Isn't the highest of the Magic Tower only 10 floors? There are 11 floors of Magic Towers. He's gassed. One of the secret keepers of the Yuk Empire. I can't tell you anything else. The second is Aksu in the northern snowy region. Although this man is a magician, but in terms of alchemy, it has already surpassed the 11th floor of the Magic Tower. After all, that guy is an old monster who has lived for thousands of years. It's understandable. That is to say, he has the best craft. But you don't want to move this person at all, because that guy spends all year round in an underground cave. Immerse yourself in the study of magic. His personality is also very weird. If you rush to look for it, maybe you'll suffer a big loss. You don't have to worry about that. I'm pretty good at dealing with these kinds of people. And this last person, far away, sight, it's down there. Didn't think about it. Frey was now shopping for antiques in the store. Generally the kind of people who like to sell themselves and boast. I don't have any big skills at all. You're right. I'm really just a little person. Since changing this body, after being reduced to a marginal person, it's not as humble as it used to be. It's not your body. Don't look at me like I am. I was once a member of a noble race. Hard scales that can't be cleaved with any sword. A huge body that can hide the sun. And also, that's a stronger heart than any power plant. It's a pity that these were taken away by Demigate. Although my profound knowledge allowed me to survive. But I think, those demigates just want to humiliate us. Actually, my real identity is a dragon. Hear Hart's words. Frey couldn't help but remember what Benin once said to himself. According to the records of the time, the battlefield is in shambles. Not even the body of the dragon was found, the only dragon left. It's a half-dragon that hasn't hatched yet. People Benin want to know everything on the dragon. Almost all of them are rare treasures. So it's normal to not find a body on the battlefield. And in that case, the only one who could take the body was Dinadet. But Frey was puzzled. The corpse of the dragon was to Demigate. There shouldn't be any value. So he was curious about what exactly was going on. Are you really a dragon? I almost forgot that you were a minion of Demigate. I'm sorry I was talking too much. You just don't say anything. Now it seems. It's likely that the dragons weren't wiped out. Instead, he was enslaved by Demigate. And according to what Frey knows about Demigate, this kind of behavior is more in line with their style. I didn't expect you to be a good person. What do you think? What is the reason Demigate asked me to stay here? Every tooth in Demigate. They'll all come to me to take this mask. Most teeth will laugh at it in order to survive. And I succumb to Demigate. Because of these people. All are traitors who choose to follow Demigate. The purpose of Demigate. I just want to take advantage of my down-and-out appearance. Tell those teethers. How right they were. Stuck in an antique shop. A man who makes masks for the teethers every day. It was once the most powerful dragon clan. The reason why Demigate didn't kill Halter. I just want the teethers to know how the right choice to betray humanity was. You don't look like any other teether. I don't care what other people think, though. But I appreciate your compassion. No, I don't have sympathy. It's in awe. Originally, 4,000 years ago, the dragon was the first to see Demigate for what he really was, and fight the race to the end. In that war, it's more about dragons and Demigate's battle. Humans can only play a supporting role, and the only one who can go head-to-head with Demigate. It's only with Frey. A group of dragons like the master is gone. Actually, we didn't lose. The battle is not over either. See what Frey looks like. Hart understood that he was not joking. I understand. It seems that you also have something unspeakable. Are the other dragons like you? There are a few that do. But most of them are already dead. Don't be so serious. It's just some old stuff. Let's take the mask and go. Your host should still be waiting for you nearby. Do you want to stay here? No way, you can see it too. I'm just a prisoner now. Then I can ask you. Make a golem with 1 million mana cores? Just let me see the bracelet. You can't pay the golem. After all, I'm also a businessman. So what do you want? Just give it to me. Yes, but you have to promise me. In dragon language, it seems that you really know me. Won't ask for your bracelet. Don't get me wrong, I'll use dragon feathers. And the bracelet is just to test you. It's satisfying to be able to take a look at it, because it didn't do much to me. Do you have any other requirements? For example, the appearance and so on. As long as you can install a core of 1 million mana, you can do it. I see. Then I would like to ask you to come back again in half a year. Today's guest is truly special. And you look as if you're having fun. I didn't expect to be imprisoned here. You can still meet such people. I'm so excited. Meanwhile, Richie took Frey with him. Continue on your way to the kingdom of Luyunov. Have you been lost before? How did it take so long? Pretty much. It's too deep. What are your plans now? Distance meeting. Isn't there still a month or so to go? The kingdom of Luyunov is called the Land of Knights, but it is also the most corrupt place in all human kingdoms. They also make a lot of nonsense, said to help the man stay alive. In human society, it's strange that there is no corruption. Look at that mountain. Originally near the kingdom of Luyunov, which was mainly flatland. There can be such a big mountain. It's rare. Marquis of Dalamon. He is selfish. Any means will be used to achieve the end. He was the most greedy of the nobles of the Luyunov kingdom, and on that mountain, there was the slave camp he opened. How can it be? Great kingdoms. Didn't slavery be abolished a long time ago? Who are we human? You're such a simple boy. Slaves have always existed. On the contrary, it is still in a state of short supply. I've heard that you like to kill such bad guys. Exactly 1 week left. You need to drain all the divine power in your body. You go to the concentration camp on that mountain. Destroy them all. The kingdom of Luyunov, known as the Land of Knights. It is the most corrupt place in all human kingdoms. It's Demigate, whose life is like a mustard. Let Frey save the slaves. But Frey, who heard this, was unmoved. I'll wait until I'm done investigating it myself, because I made you kill your kindred. So there is pity? I just don't trust anybody else. With that, Frey set off towards the mountain in front of him. In the depths of that mountain, there is a brightly lit castle. But these guards guarding the city doesn't seem to be worried about someone intruding at all. Meanwhile, Frey was in the grass. Watch their every move. Since there is nothing unusual on the periphery, Frey sneaked into the castle. But as soon as I came in, he discovered the meaning of the castle's existence. Cages everywhere here. Slaves from all races were held inside. It's a terrible weather. Where have you just been? The soldier did not answer. Instead, he threw the slaves in his hands outside the castle. It was a beast girl. It seems that life has long been lost. You're such a pervert. I didn't use much force. He just died. Frey didn't understand. Why are there so many corpses? Slaves should be precious to them. Don't make too much of a fuss. Recently there have been many days of dead slaves. All alarmed the Marquis of Dalamon. As long as it doesn't move. The expensive elven Marquis didn't bother to care. And that one wasn't an elf just now. That's when Frey knew. These people used slaves as an outlet for their bestial desires, and a tool to relieve boredom. That's just at this time. The guards heard movement behind them. As soon as they turned around, I saw Frey, who was no longer hidden. You bastard. Where did you come from? I heard that Luyunov is known as the country of knights. And what about your chivalry? Where did neuropathy come from? That being said, the guards still blew their horns. Really? It's a waste of tongue to talk to you junk people, said. Yellow lightning began to appear around the guards. A terrifying energy burst out in the castle in an instant. After feeling the change, the rest of the castle arrived. They raised their weapons. Surround Frey. Frey didn't understand. Do these bastards think they're wearing armor? Is it a knight? He was a little curious. If it's Lucid, what would be your thoughts when you see such a scene? That one was called a spy. A man who believed in chivalry all his life. He won't regret it. Sacrificed his life to protect this group of people. As a former best friend, Frey decides to help Lucid put the bastards on trial. Meanwhile, a wine bottle smashed into the guard's head. You just told me you're dead again. I'm sorry, Lord Dalamon. I'm not Jean. Don't you touch the elves? Do you really think that Lao Tzu's money is blown by the wind? Get out of here. If that happens again, you know the consequences. I don't know what I want this bunch of garbage for. Lord Dalamon. What to do with the corpse of the elf? What else can I do? Handle it according to the old rules. Also, today I suddenly wanted to eat basil sauce. I want to eat it hot. The villain will do it. Human corpses were casually discarded outside the castle, and the owner of the castle. But they didn't care whether these slaves lived or died. Compared to the lives of those men, he cares more about whether he can eat hot basil sauce. Lord Dalamon. Big things are not good. What's wrong with it? Is there another elf who is dead? There was an enemy attack, and we were attacked. This little thing will also come to me. What have I done for you with so much money? Won't handle it yourself? That Dalamon lady. The knights of the assistant were all wiped out. Just when Dalamon was taken aback, the ceiling above him began to crumble. The next second, something fell straight over his head. Sudden change. It was a little difficult for Dalamon to react for a while, but soon his face was completely overtaken by horror. Who are you? How would you guys know here? Are you a pig? Can you lose weight? Why are you still stunned? Kill him. The chef heard this. Without saying a word, he took out a kitchen knife and rushed forward. It's just that the kitchen knife is shielded by Frey's body, easily blocked, and a bolt of lightning traveled through the cook's body along the shield. Almost instantly, the cook's body turned into a mist of blood. See a scene like this. Where would the soldiers dare to be the enemy of Frey? You bastard. Where are you going? But Frey just snapped his fingers. The soldier was reduced to ashes in an instant. It all happened so fast. Dalamon didn't have time to react. He is also well aware. You must not be an enemy of Frey. What do you want? I can give it to you. Anything goes. Frey didn't say a word. A foot on Dalamon's body. You ask me what I want. I'm upset right now. So I want to torture you slowly. Where to start? Eyes or tongue? Flashes of lightning flashed. The sound of wailing was constantly heard in the castle. Soon after, Frey took everyone in the camp. Kill him and stand alone by the castle. I don't know what I'm thinking. Richie's figure slowly appeared behind Frey. It seems to be over. It's not over yet. Next comes the most troublesome part. Slaves here. They are still in cages. Richie didn't say anything. Just put your hand on the hilt. Almost instantly, all the cages were severed. You're free. Now it's time to get out of here. But the slaves had no intention of leaving. What is freedom? I don't know what freedom you mean by that. My family and my clan are dead. I don't have the meaning of being alive anymore. You might as well just kill me. Richie was a little puzzled, but he didn't ask the question in his mind. As you wish. As he spoke, Richie pulled out the knife from his waist again. You will be liberated in an instant. There will be no pain. Just as Richie was about to swing his knife, Frey reached out and stopped him. Put down the knife. I'll take care of that. I should be sympathetic now. Still be angry about what happened to you. Unfortunately, even if you die, you won't be at ease. But don't get me wrong. I didn't come to my rescue because I felt sorry for you. It took so much effort for me. You want to die. Now your master is me. It is also for my personal purpose to save you. From now on, I'm going to do it in a month. Kill all those who torture you within. There are many people in this area who are just like you. Became a prisoner. It is estimated that they also feel that they are better off living than dead now. What you think doesn't matter to me. I just want to kill all those greasy faces. Greedy pig dad. You want to know what freedom is? It's up to you to find out. Slaves in cages were freed, but they demanded that Frey and the others kill themselves. It turned out that the families of these slaves were all dead. They no longer have the meaning of living, and a long cage life. Let them forget what freedom is. Moment of truth. Frey stepped forward, became the master of these slaves. He's going to kill all the corrupt people here. Take this group of slaves to find the meaning of freedom. You have the face of a wicked man. It gave them a glimmer of hope. Do you want to be a villain hero? That's all I have to say. They can accept it. For those who are desperate, hope is only a bone-bound body. A slave is suddenly freed. It is equivalent to sentencing him to death. Now for them, what is needed is not freedom. It's a time to think alone. Maybe every time they rescued a person who was suffering from the same disease. Maybe you can understand the meaning of freedom. However, Li Qi, who heard this, was indeed a little disdainful. Free for the rest of the time. Frey took the group of slaves with him. Crusade against slave concentration camps. He was hands-on from the start. Later, I only watched from the sidelines. The slaves began to take up arms against the soldiers. One slave after another was freed from their cages. Their ranks are growing. The eyes of these people have gradually become colored. And just like that, all the concentration camps of the Kingdom of Leonov are all destroyed. Your mission is over. It's been a month of hard work. I didn't expect to end up with so many people. So are we free now? Trust your own judgment. Buck, now we have a lot of brothers. I want to feed this group of people. I'm probably going to die of exhaustion, but there is no way. I'm not alone anymore. You said you wanted us to determine for ourselves what freedom is. After this month of ordeal, I finally understand what you were saying. Get such an answer. Frey was also very satisfied. What are your plans for the future? We're going to the Eden Mountains. Because it's a place that is inaccessible. We are going to build a village there. There are a lot of monsters in that place. The process can be very arduous. It's better than being a slave. There are no more terrifying monsters than humans. Except for Lord Tar. Actually, you're right. It seems that they finally understand what freedom is. Did you have guessed that this would be the end? I'm not a god. It's just that I'm convinced that they won't give up. More vicious than demons. But sometimes it's kinder than the angels. In Richie's heart, the surprise that humans brought to him was a little more than that. By the way, it's time for us to go. Magic and part of the divine power in the body. It's almost exhausted. The date of the meeting is approaching soon. If you don't go, it's too late. I forgot to tell you what we're here for. This is where our demigate meeting place is located. As soon as the words fell, the sky above the two of them, a huge crack appeared. Frey didn't hesitate. He immediately took out his mask and put it on. The first to appear is Demigate. Is a giant fiery giant. This is the destroyer of fire. Yagni starts now. You don't have to say another word. Getter and his fangs freed the slaves. As a member of the Big Four organizations, Cheryl and the others were curious. What exactly does Richie want to do? Be a member of Lucid's megaship. Jerome clearly didn't expect that. There will be slave camps near your own country. It was at this time. The sky in front of the five people cracked. Trouble us into the crystallization of Demiget. Before the end of the meeting, there is simply no way we can leave. But that's fine. Let's listen to it. What the hell are these bastards up to? I saw that the size of the fire giant in the sky was shrinking. In the end, he took on the form of a human being. Am I the first to arrive? Frey clearly didn't expect that. Debigate is actually free to change forms. I didn't expect you to be brave enough to be brave. What a surprise. After all, I'm the closest to them. Is he your minion? Looks pretty good. Agni didn't expect you to have minions too, because I finally found a suitable person. At the moment of seeing Yagni's minions, Frey froze. He didn't expect to see him again in such a place. It was at this time. 3 figures appeared again in the sky. Demigate. All the destroyers are here. The only female demigate. It should be the Rhine who single-handedly built the Black family. Noel is in charge of the power of death. I also had a relationship with Frey before. Finally, there is Anunta. He hasn't changed anything from 4,000 years ago. The power of 5 heroes was gathered that year. Didn't hit the old guy in the end. It looks like everyone has arrived. Why did the 3 of you come here together? We found an interesting phenomenon. We just want to check it out. Interesting phenomenon, you will soon know. Hear Rhine's tone. Richie didn't follow any further. The destroyer has finally assembled. The only one who hasn't shown up yet is His Holiness. But at this time, Nor seemed to notice something. There are still rats here. Hear this. Several people from the 4 major organizations also broke out in a cold sweat. They've hidden their magic. Frey couldn't help but wonder. Could it be that the people from those organizations really secretly followed? His Holiness's enchantment can only be entered and not exited. These poor fellows are right outside the door. That's when Frey felt it. There were a lot of human soldiers outside the door. It doesn't look like a person from a big organization. If nothing else, that's Leonov, sent to erase evidence of slave camps. Soldier Richie, with your strength, you should be able to spot them. Of course I do. It's just too much. I'm afraid I'll be punished by God. Case. Then let me take care of it for you. Aren't you afraid of killing so many people? Will it be punished by God? Noel didn't answer. After eating what you have in your hand. And he disappeared from everyone's sight. Richie, what the hell are you going to do? Leonov is your area of responsibility. But Richie didn't answer. He doesn't seem to take Anunta seriously at all. You'll get snacks later. His Holiness called us to a meeting. Just want to get rid of some garbage. Meanwhile, Noel had come to the Black Dragon Knights. Little cuties, this is a gift for you. The 5 destroyers of Big 8 come together. Almost at the moment of arrival, Nor discovers the Black Dragon Knights hidden outside the door. After eating the mysterious object in your hand, Nor came before them. Little cuties, this is a gift for you. Saw. Noel snapped his fingers at the Black Dragon Knights. Almost instantly, a divine power that contains the breath of death attacked every member of the Knights. So far, the mighty Black Dragon Knights were completely destroyed. They were reduced to Nor's army of the undead. I don't know if you guys are satisfied with this gift. It's so cool. It's been a long time since I've killed so many people at once. People see this scene. Frey realized his weakness, even if he has already gained divine power. But in the face of these destroyers, he's still no different from an ant. Frey couldn't have imagined. He actually killed a doppelganger of Hydra. Just get carried away. That's just at this time. Frey heard a familiar voice. Come in. It's the first time in 4,000 years. Frey was finally going to meet him again. Long time no see. My kindred. Cheers, Richie. We don't have to fear punishment anymore. Noel, what do you mean by that? But maybe it's the reason for His Holiness's appearance. Noel didn't answer Richie. I saw His Holiness wave his hand lightly. The surrounding collapsed houses were instantly restored to their original state. After doing all this, His Holiness looked at Richie. Long time no see. My most loyal and dear friend. His Holiness finished. Ben hugged Richie in front of everyone. Frey clearly didn't expect that. Richie and His Holiness turned out to be such a relationship. Nor, what do you mean by that sentence you just said? Bastard, how dare you ignore His Holiness? I didn't think that the Venerable would stop Nor. Go on. The status of Noel and Richie in the heart of His Holiness. Glance. That's it. As long as there is this Illinois gang, we don't have to worry about it anymore. What is Illinois gang? The first time I heard about it. This is the metal we developed and named ourselves. Now it's unremarkable. But you see it. As he spoke, Ryan broke a small piece and put it in his mouth. After eating Illinois gang, the power of the Rhine is hidden. What's going on? The divine power is gone. Yes, it does. In fact, my divine power is still there. That's the magic of Illinois. Actually, I started researching this thing. It is to hide the divine power in the body, so that the major organizations can't find us. Although the results of the study are different from our original intentions. But luckily, this thing can be used in the case of concealing the divine power in the body. It does not affect its use. Just eat it. We can temporarily circumvent the heavenly Tao. Other words, it doesn't matter how many people we kill. We'll not be punished by heaven. But this thing is still in the research stage. It is not yet available for mass production. Now this small piece of metal is very cumbersome to make. Materials are also hard to come by. Just eat a small piece and it will work. But it won't be long. We'll be able to mass produce. If Illinois can be mass produced, this means that Demigate no longer needs to teeth. So Richie's expression was a little solemn. Richie, why are you this reaction? We can finally slaughter humanity to our heart's content. Aren't you excited? Big 8 has developed a metal that can hide divine powers. This means they no longer need the power of their minions in the future, even if they wantonly slaughter human beings. Nor will they be punished by the heavenly Tao. And Richie, a plan to assassinate Demigate with the help of minions. Will fail. Richie, you have changed. After you destroyed the kingdom of Araka 4,000 years ago, it's starting to be a little weird. That's when Frey knew. The one who destroyed the country of Araka was actually Richie. You must know that Lucid is there to protect Araka. In the end, he chose martyrdom. This means Richie kills Frey's best friend, Lucid. It's been 4,000 years. On the contrary, I think it's even more strange that you haven't changed at all. Sling the bull. We Demigate are eternal beings. You are wrong. We are not eternal beings. Richie, you bastard. Why are you against me at every turn? By the way, you guys calm down first. I found out that Hydra was dead. When was this happening? I don't know, I just found out. Although Anunta said that he just knew. But the three of them still agreed. Looked at Richie. Don't say it. Don't forget. We are compatriots. I'm sorry, His Holiness. We were just impulsive. Sorry for the lately. Everybody is a little sensitive. It doesn't matter, actually. The few remaining destroyers are also well aware of one thing. To His Holiness, Richie was no different from his brother. After all, His Holiness is a huge mass of energy from what is known as the law of the world. The first self-aware individual born, and then came Richie. So, even if Richie doesn't care about Luyunov, who is responsible for himself, His Holiness did not ask him for his responsibility. But such a distinction is given. Also let other destroyers. I can't get used to what Richie is doing. All right, His Holiness. Let's get straight to the point. The meeting. It's to find out the traitors hiding around us. And the object of their suspicion was me. You don't have to take Richie's words too seriously. Although there are still many demigates who did not come to the meeting. But it's boring to keep waiting. Do you want to take advantage of this opportunity? Let's play a game. Your Holiness, you said you were going to play a game. That's right. Let's just reveal the identity of our minions. Time. Frey couldn't imagine what His Holiness was thinking. In the case of mutual suspicion internally, expose your identity as a minion. There is no difference at all from suicide. What's more, once Frey's identity was revealed, after that, he will definitely not be able to move an inch. Frey wondered what Li Qi would choose. But look at Li Qi's appearance. He didn't seem nervous. Your Holiness, we don't have time for jokes right now. Although I think that traitors cannot be among us. But if that's the case, I'll open up my minions first. Hear this. The destroyer present. I couldn't believe my ears. But for Frey, this is a great opportunity in front of us. I just need to know who His Holiness's minions are. Then he will find an opportunity to kill His Holiness. His Holiness should forget it. We don't care. But you're at the heart of our demigate. You can't disclose the identity of your minions. Offered by the people. Let everyone reveal the identity of their minions. For Frey, this is the best chance to find His Holiness's weaknesses. But the moment of truth. Agni rejected His Holiness's proposal. If traitors are really among us, that's when something big happens. Because he risked his life to attend the meeting. There is only one purpose. That is, he wants to know His Holiness. Who the hell are your minions? That's not going to work. That's what I proposed first. How could I not say it? Yagni was right. I also agree with Yagni. Me too. Venerable, you can't make your minions public. You're all like that. It's embarrassing for me. In fact, anyone with a discerning eye can see it. This is a game set against Li Qi. The purpose is to force Li Qi to make a statement. So Frey was curious about what Li Qi would choose. I certainly don't have a problem either. But His Holiness does not make the words public. Then I won't make it public. Crazy. You really think that you are in equal relationship with His Holiness? You're wrong. All demigates are born equal. His Holiness. Just represent the firstborn demigate. In addition, there are no other privileges. You're a big rebel. His Holiness's existence is supreme. He's on a mission, right? And our existence is to help him do the dirty work. Hear Richie's words. Noel subconsciously wanted to refute. Enough is enough. Don't stop me, Your Holiness. Including me. Everyone thinks Richie is suspicious. Hydra is not something that anyone can get rid of. If you don't take this opportunity to investigate clearly, Noel, I mean, before the investigation is clear, don't doubt yourself anymore. His own compatriot Noel was angry, but he still obeyed His Holiness's orders. Do you know why I'm so angry? He knew the situation was not in his favor, but it still looks like it doesn't matter. It was as if we didn't take our suspicions to heart at all. As soon as I saw his righteous attitude, I hate it so much. I know that before the end of the meeting, I will find out if Li Qi is a traitor, unless a result is obtained. Otherwise, it doesn't matter if it's a month or a year. This enchantment will last forever. Okay, then I'll open up about my teething first. As he spoke, Agni let the black-robed man behind him. Take off your mask. The moment I saw this person's face, Frey also knew he wasn't wrong. Agni's teeth. It was the immortal bird that Frey had saved. Frey was curious. Immortal birds. Is it really a minion who volunteered to become demigate? What is this human-in-human thing? He's an immortal. While traveling in the Eden Mountains, it was found that he was dozens of times stronger than other undead birds. That's why they were recruited under my command. It's kind of interesting. Then it's my turn now. Ananta's minions was an assassin named Zelta. Well, then it's my turn this time. The moment when you can see Nor's minions. Everyone froze. Because his minions are a demon. And it's also the essence of the demon. You know, it's hard for a demon to appear in the human world. This means Nor and Elise are inextricably linked. Now that you're all public, that's my turn now. The minions of the Rhine must have been members of the Black family. But look at the size. He's not a little. It turned out that he was Leap Black. That is, Frey's mother. Under the leadership of His Holiness. One by one, the Destroyer revealed the identities of their minions. Very good, very good. It seems that everyone's minions are excellent. Thank you for risking your lives to share your secrets. Unconsciously, these people have surrounded Frey in the middle. It seems that as long as His Holiness gives an order, they would forcibly reveal Frey's identity. Richie's minions. You came early. Should know the castle better than they do. You can find a place with the rest of your minions. Before I gather my compatriots, get a good rest. Richie, let's talk about it too. With a wave of His Holiness's hand. He and Richie are in a separate space. Don't overthink it. You're sure to be curious about what we're talking about. That's all I have to do. It's okay. You don't have to tell me about such a trivial matter. Actually, until now. The scene when I first met you. It's still vivid. When I am separated from the will of the world. After having self-awareness, the most unbearable thing is endless loneliness. The world had not yet blossomed. I knew I could conquer anything, but I still can't arouse the slightest interest. Because even though I have absolute power, if there is no goal, that would also be meaningless. In the will of this world at this time, another fragment of self-consciousness was born. It's you. Definitely not expected. How excited I was when I first found out about you. Because it means I'm not alone anymore. Finally has its own purpose. After you were born, other demigates have also come into this world, and you have become my reason to live. My power will be used to protect my fellow citizens and create a world that belongs to us. You suddenly start saying these things. It's also normal for Noel and Anunta to have a grudge against you. You say demigate is born equal, but on the other hand, I didn't treat everyone equally. Because you are a gift from heaven. It's also the reason for my existence. So no matter what you do, I turned a blind eye. Even if you choose to live in seclusion, there is no jurisdiction to administer itself. Even if you treat me with a provocative attitude and outright rejected my request. Even if you kill our fellow citizens. Richie, can you tell me, why choose betrayal? Until this moment, Richie finally met His Holiness in the eye. Richie is well aware. His Holiness already knew the answer. When His Holiness said that he wanted to uncover the identity of the minions, Richie began to get suspicious. That's why Richie wants to provoke Noel. If His Holiness is not convinced, it's going to be a big fuss. Stop the two from strife. But it can be seen from His Holiness's bland reaction. He already knew it in his heart. Li Chi, you obviously know that killing a compatriot is a capital crime. Can you tell me why? As my most loyal friend, I really don't understand. Why should you choose betrayal? The reason is simple. Because I was so wrong. Can face Li Chi's answer. His Holiness, on the contrary, did not lash out. Are you still haunted by what happened 4,000 years ago? When you were fighting that night? I shouldn't have chosen to intervene. It was the first time I'd ever seen you so angry. I heard His Holiness bring it up again. Li Chi's expression became gloomy. His Holiness seemed to have made a great deal of determination. Well, I won't pursue your betrayal. As Li Chi expected. His Holiness knew early on that it was Li Chi who had killed his ancestor. But what he didn't expect was this. His Holiness actually said that he would not pursue the matter anymore. Such a change. Apparently something that Li Chi did not expect. I'll act like nothing happened. After all, 4,000 years ago, I was bent on going my own way. Spoil your good deeds. I've killed a lot of my countrymen. Is that really it? Now go out and tell everyone that there are no traitors in the ranks. Then they wouldn't want to believe it. Especially Noel and Anunta. Plus you've been provoking just now. I was helpless. They can only be promised to find out the traitor in this meeting. Just look at the way His Holiness looks. Say these words. He had made a lot of determination. I need one with a black pot on my back. Don't worry, I've picked it out. It won't be long. That demigate will come over. You will frame your own countrymen. I didn't expect to see you for a long time. Even you have changed. The rule of equality outside the body of demigate. But you said it yourself. Enough is enough. You still don't know. Because you are important to me. Wait to get out. You kill your minions in front of everyone. By then you will be asleep for about 100 years. For us who are immortal, anyway, that's not much time. Think you're on vacation. I'll keep you safe when the time comes. In a few more days, there's going to be a demigate named Wall. Wait until he comes. You just do what I say. A question suddenly sprung into Richie's mind. Could it be that the demigate clan can really change? If you kill Frey, you will get the gold medal for avoiding death. Richie can be with His Holiness. Change the entire demigate family from within. That way, Richie wouldn't have to go it alone. As long as His Holiness is on the same side as him, then all the difficulties will be solved. Meanwhile, Frey is taking the rest of his minions with him, waiting for Richie's minions in a room. Yes, take off your mask. If only I had the ability. Then pick it yourself. If enough is enough, I'll kill you too if I make any more noise. Do you have human food in your backpack? Can you give me a little bit? After getting the food, the demon went around the corner, began to gobble up. Is there anyone else who wants to eat a little? As he spoke, Frey silently looked at the immortal bird. At that moment of eye contact with Frey, the undead seemed a little nervous. No surprises. He had already recognized Frey's true identity. However, he did not reveal Frey's identity. I was able to meet Frey again. It's already a thing that makes the immortal bird very happy. But in order not to be recognized, they didn't say much. It was at this time. Richie made his way to the minion's room. Look at his gloomy expression. It seems that a big decision has been made inside. And so Frey followed Richie out of the place. As you can tell from the conversation just now, the man who killed Lucid was Richie. Although Frey had been mentally prepared for a long time. But now it seems, Richie really wasn't one to be trusted. Danny Gate. After coming to the end, Richie waved his hand and shattered the wall in front of him. Frey just stayed behind Richie, silently walked into this room. In the end, he couldn't help it. Where are we going? Do you know what His Holiness is capable of? He can control the space. Do you know what I mean by saying this? Even if your strength reaches 9 stars. Nor could it be his opponent. What do you do all of a sudden? We're looking for his minions. Isn't it because you can't beat him? Have you forgotten? Demigate has already invented Illinois Gang. As long as there is him, Demigate will never be afraid of punishment again. This also means that the minions will lose the meaning of existence. And then what exactly do you want to say? I'm sorry, I think it's time for us to say goodbye. With that, Richie drew his sword and slashed at Frey. His Holiness in conversation. Richie learns that he has changed. If Richie can kill Frey, join forces with His Holiness, then he might be able to change Demigate sooner. Intentions, so he called Frey out alone. Without hesitation, he slashed at Frey. But to Frey's surprise, there were no wounds on his body. Originally, the man Richie just attacked. It was Anunta who was hiding behind Frey and eavesdropping. I didn't expect it to turn out to be Richie. You really are a traitor. It's not a good habit to eavesdrop on other people's conversations. It's you who killed Hydra. You guessed it right. I'm going to kill him. As soon as the words fell, Richie swung his knife again at Anunta in front of him. Anunta's figure was also completely reduced to ashes. Disappeared in front of the two. Richie, that's what he's doing. Could it be that it was a phantom just now? It won't be long. They're going to come here. With that, Richie made another gesture of drawing his sword. Begin to mobilize the divine power in your body. With a roar, Richie drew his knife and stretched out to the wall in front of him. Frey was a little stunned. Because of the swordsmanship used by Richie, he was very familiar with it. After a slash, Richie quickly retracted the knife into its scabbard, and in front of the two. At this moment, there is already an extra spatial rift. He is worthy of His Holiness. I used all my might. There was only one crack cut out. Just when Frey was surprised, Richie kicked him into the gap in the barrier. What does 7 mean? What the hell are you going to do? Li Chi is about to open it. Where are you going? Didn't I just say that? It's time for us to say goodbye. Are you kidding? When did I promise you? I'll wait for you to come back. You can't die. As the gap gradually shrinks, Richie's figure eventually disappears before Frey's eyes. Almost at the same time, the 4 remaining destroyers in Demigate all appeared. Richie, you bastard. You damn traitor. Finally revealed his true colors. Richie, why the hell is that? Are you really a traitor? His Holiness, why didn't he come with him? Do you think His Holiness will continue to protect you? Excuse me. His Holiness did not come. And it didn't say let's let you go. It's a pity. But all that. You can only blame yourself. You're right. It's a bit of a shame indeed. I just said goodbye to Fong's life and death. Now it's embarrassing for me. Since His Holiness did not come, then I wouldn't have died here today. You really think you can beat us? Are you cornered after being cornered? It's not even good to use your head? I really thought His Holiness was looking at you differently. Do you feel like him? You're only second in command at best. And they were right. Richie has always been Demi-Dut's second in command. His heart was empty. And the only thing that made Richie was the full-hearted Void Boss. The people of the major organizations put us 5 apart from His Holiness. The most powerful Demi-Dut became the Destroyer. I didn't expect that group of bug-like guys. You can get so much information. But this statement makes me very unhappy. They're taking me and you like that. On a par. I can't take it anymore. Where the hell do you get your confidence? Because of you guys. I don't know what faith is. After Richie's identity is revealed, for Destroyers and Demigate, rush to the scene as soon as possible. As the second-in-command in Demigate, Richie didn't hesitate to draw his knife and slash at the 4. Although Richie behaved extremely arrogantly, but his strength is indeed worthy of what he just said. He is also the destroyer of the Demigate family. The other 4 are too far behind him. Such a fight did not interest him at all. Unconsciously, Richie remembered something from the past. He still remembers the first time he opened his eyes. What I saw was the joyful face of His Holiness. His Holiness said to him, "I finally have a goal to live." Also said that Richie was his everything. Since then, Richie had a question in his mind. The purpose of one's own life. What is the mark? Although His Holiness has his own goals, but Richie had nothing. That's why he chose to follow His Holiness in the first place. He made His Holiness's goal his ambition. Can go with time. His heart gradually became occupied by a sense of emptiness. Whenever this happens, Richie always felt the knife in his hand asking him, "What the hell is fighting? Why do you want to make yourself stronger?" And these problems are nightmares for Richie, because he was afraid that he would find the answer. You will be completely disappointed in His Holiness. What the hell is going on? I was crushed by a knife. He obviously hasn't recovered his true form yet. Why is the strength so strong? Unconsciously, Li Qi felt that the knife in his hand had lost its former edge. He didn't want to admit it. His Holiness is not on the right path. Until one day, a human gave him the answer. A knife without faith is no different from scrap metal. You say my knives are scrap metal. Isn't this kind of thing only the strong qualified to say? Your strength is indeed very strong. I'm destined to die here today too. But it's not about winning or losing. Now you are a weakling, rather than incomprehensible, because he is the first knife in this world. Are you kidding? Only the strong can be the final winner. Have you ever wanted to live your life even once? Something to protect. Lucid's eyes were clear, not at all like a dying man. Faces questions. Li Qi didn't answer a word. In fact, Li Qi also knows it in his heart. What you really lack and want. He knows it well. He is no match for the man in front of him at all. Whether it's the power belief, or the most important person to yourself. When a person wants to protect something, when you're ready to risk your life, he will understand what it means to be truly strong. I finally understood why he didn't change himself. What does the form mean? That kid is now using a human swordsmanship. It's not that he doesn't want to change. It's completely impossible to do, because it goes back to its original form. You can't use human swordsmanship, but so what? It's still going strong, except for appearances. It also has great limitations in the flesh, and the human body simply can't withstand it. My flame. We don't have to attack its body. As long as I spread this area with flames, it will soon be burned to ashes. It uses only the human body, succeeded in suppressing the 2 destroyers. It's just a pity that the limitations of the human body are too great. He will soon be burned to ashes by the flames of Agni. What Richie can do now, it is to constantly cut off the flames that are being extinguished. But the fire was just too big. Ricky had already begun to show burns. With your current body, there is no way to resist my flames. Let's hurry up and change back to the original form. It's just then. If you can't use a knife, you'll still be killed by us. Beach knew it very well. Agni's words were not a bluff. If it goes on like this, Beechcraft will soon be burned to ashes. Look at the knife in your hand. Beach suddenly remembered what Lucid had said to him. A smile tugged at the corner of his mouth. He already had the answer in his mind. Richie no longer resists. He let Yardney's fire take his way. What's going on? Could it be that this kid has given up? Whether it's for life, or for the people who matter most to you. When a person wants to protect something, when you are ready to risk your life, he will understand what it means to be truly strong. Richie slashed at the flames in front of him. He used. Lucy learns that the sword has ordered the heavens to be broken. Face Richie's slash. None of the 4 destroyers dared. Try to resist. Richie's knife split the Venerable's knot. Split the whole sky. What a powerful force. He cut it in 2 pieces that day. Is this really a mere human swordsmanship? Don't wait for them to react. Richie grabbed the hilt of his knife again and rushed forward. Just a knife. Noel in charge of death. Half of his head was decapitated by Richie. The 2 Damadettes next to wall. For a while, there was no time to react. The next second, Agni, who was in charge of the flames, was chopped to pieces by Richie. And it doesn't end there. Ananta, who was in charge of the poison, was also frozen through the abdomen by Richie. It all happened so fast. The 3 destroyers were killed by Richie in an instant. It was at this time. Richie grabbed the hilt of his knife and rushed towards the Rhine. It's a pity that His Holiness still rushed to the battlefield. Enough is enough. It was the saddest day I've had since I was born. Richie, why do you have to push me? Venerable, you might as well kill me. After Richie uttered this sentence, there was a violent explosion at the location of the 2 men. I saw that Richie's right hand was covered with Yagni's flames. His left hand was possessed by Ananta's poison. His left leg was being cut by the Rhine wind. His right leg. It is also suffering from the erosion of Nor's death breath. This is the first and last time I will punish you. You carry with you the resentment of your compatriots before they died. Repented in the last days. But even after suffering like this, Li Qi's eyes were still full of disdain. His Holiness's eyes welled up with tears. This is the last thing he wants to see. The Rhine is still too late. Help me resurrect the 3 of them. Wait a minute, His Holiness. So what about Li Qi? His Holiness did not answer him. He left the place with heavy steps. Anyway, Li Qi is already dead. Rhine wanted to deny that he had betrayed his people. Traitor, but I don't know why. He couldn't make a move just now. What are you still hesitating about? Don't kill me yet. Seeing that Richie in front of him was still provoking himself, Rhine was furious in his heart. But in the end, he didn't give up. I don't want to die for someone. Dirty your hands. You'd better find a place where no one is left to fend for yourself. After saying these words, the Rhine vanished into a gust of wind. Beachy used the mutilated body. Slowly crawl towards the end of your life. One of them killed 3 destroyer-level demigate. It's a pity that he was finally defeated by the Venerable who rushed over. Time goes back a few minutes ago. Frey, who was kicked out of the enchantment. I came to a cave. He was curious. What exactly is Richie doing all this for? That's when it happened. He saw a tomb in front of him, and the crumbling cocoon in front of the grave. This is Lucid's grave, and this is Richie's space. At the moment of seeing this sword clearly, Frey knew the answer. This is Lucid's sword during his lifetime. The Godslayer stuck his sword next to the grave. It is the highest blessing for a knight. Ray was sure he was not mistaken. It was indeed Lucid's sword that Richie had used just now. Sorry, Mickey. I shouldn't have doubted you. Unexpectedly, you really chose betrayal for the sake of a human being. I don't know when. A figure appeared behind Frey. Tell me it's you. Hear this familiar voice. Frey felt like his heart was going to stop. Did you influence my dear friend? The man standing behind Frey was the Venerable. You committed the Holocaust. I won't let you go easily. His Holiness's tone is very different from what it was 4,000 years ago. It was clear that Richie's betrayal hit him hard. Frey was curious. Now I have my own divine power. Is there a chance to escape from His Holiness's hands? But the moment His Holiness stretched out his right hand, Frey had the answer in his mind. It's the same as it was 4,000 years ago. Frey couldn't find the slightest chance of escaping. Moment of truth. A purple wave of magic appeared in front of His Holiness. Stop, Your Holiness. At the moment of seeing this magic, Frey's eyes widened. There was no way he could be wrong. It feels exactly the same as it did 4,000 years ago. How did you end up here? Get out of the way, though the woman in front of her has changed her appearance. But Frey can be sure. He was Elise. His Holiness Pisa man. Stop, please don't kill him. Elise, what do you mean by that? It's better not to me off. But in the face of the threat of His Holiness, Elise didn't flinch in the slightest. I understand. Then I will fulfill you. That oath. Have you forgotten, Venerable? The moment I heard this, His Holiness stopped his hand abruptly. You used to say that. Well, promise me one condition. Now I beg you to let him go. You're going to use him on this human being. Why not? You promised me that time. Forget it. I'll rely on you this time. But see you next time. I'm going to kill him. See His Holiness give in. Elise finally breathed a sigh of relief. Richie's minions, I'm getting more and more interested in you. I didn't expect to be except for Richie. Even Elise wants to save your life. I'm particularly curious right now. Why are they so sad about you? Then we'll see you again. Hopefully you'll be alive by then. In this way, the figure of the Venerable disappeared in front of the two of them. Elise defended it. Frey's hand was finally lowered. Although all the previous indications suggested, Elise may still be alive. But until now, Frey was finally sure. Elise clenched his fists. It seems that a lot of determination has been made. He slowly turned his head. Look at this old man 4,000 years ago. Can you please show me your face? Leith did not hesitate to consume the oath. Also to protect Frey's life. And his only request. Just wanted to see Frey's face right now. Can face this old man 4,000 years ago. Frey was not grateful. At the moment, Frey was inside the face under the mask. It's cold all over. He couldn't forget it. Illis kills Hughes with his own hands. No, I'm sorry. I can't trust you. Elise didn't expect it. Waited 4,000 years on their own. That's all I got in exchange. These 4,000 years of doubts and grievances. It seems that at this moment, it all came to mind. But his plan is not yet complete. Even if Lucas doesn't trust himself these days. Elise, why did you save me just now? Elise didn't answer. Instead, he turned around and opened a portal. It's your business, Elise. At the moment, she is like a childish little girl. After all that said, Elise left without looking back. I recall the moment when His Holiness raised his hand just now. Frey was once again outraged by his incompetence. In the face of absolute strength, once again, she experienced the fear of death. If not Elise, he must have died in Huangquan. Lucid, you can even change Richie. I lived for 4,000 years. But I can't even change myself. I'd love to know how the hell you changed him. It's actually quite simple. He woke me up. Frey turned around. That's when Richie was found covered in scars. Richie's body was able to hold on to it. It's already the limit. Please, help me. I want to lie down next to his grave. Frey regretted it. He regretted that he had doubted Richie before. It seems that you have already met His Holiness. I'm sorry. It's all my fault for underestimating His Holiness. Halfway through the conversation, Richie coughed up violently. Bloody Ridge, don't speak. I'll help you bandage it first. Darajit's body is not the same as a human. If His Holiness does not personally help to heal him, we can only wait for death. I'm running out of time. Listen up to Frey. I wounded Null, Anunta, and Yagni. Unless healed, they could not have been born again. So you still have about 1 year to prepare. Did you defeat them alone? Only Demigate could move His Holiness. He knew I was a traitor, but he still didn't do anything to me. At least for Demigate. He's a philanthropist. And this is His Holiness's greatest weakness. Then why did you betray him? Because there is no knife of faith. It's no different from scrap metal. For 1,000 years ago, Lucid said something that changed me completely. I'm trying to fill my emptiness. Constant pursuit of power. It even took away a lot of human sword skills. Use it for yourself. That's when I found Lucid. It's also to snatch away his knife skills. And the balance of victory was as expected. Slowly fell to my side. But even if there is no chance of winning, nor did he choose to give in. That moment, I finally learned what it means to be unyielding. It is also understood that there is no absolute power. Just about the knife technique. He is no match for him at all. Oddly enough, though, at that time, it dawned on me. I instantly understood what I was missing. What to fill the void in your heart. The cause of Lucid's death is learned. Frey had been suspicious of Richie before. You can see what Richie looks like now. Frey knew it was his fault. Looks like I've been misunderstanding you all along. It turns out that you didn't torture Lucid. Instead, I want to fight him. You are wrong. The one who killed Lucid is the Venerable. At that time, I only fought him with a knife. Completely useless with the power of Demigate. But the Venerable one, who was worried that I would be defeated, suddenly struck and killed. He has been until now. I still remember his resolute look in his eyes. At that time, I asked him what true belief was. And he smiled and said to me that he was a friend. As long as there are trustworthy friends around, why not send me to hell? His words made me suspicious. This is the first time I've heard the word trust. This is not the same as His Holiness's vain fraternity. To be honest, I envy him. At that moment, I finally understood. All life in this world cannot be trampled on. Frey, it's time for you to get back to the Black family. You're going to be there. Find the clues that stop them from making Illinois. If Demigate starts mass production of Illinois gang, then it was too late. Then you're going to the snowy fields to the north. Go find Demigate named Elijah. He has a positive interest in major organizations. There was no interest in the fight with Demigate. Even His Holiness has given up. Freak. The only Demigate who can be on your side right now. I guess it's just him. I can say what is in my heart before disappearing. I have no regrets. Demigate is not like a human. Once we die, we are gone forever. It's a pity. I'd love to have a few more fights with him in heaven. I don't know if Lucid sees me now. What kind of evaluation will be made? You are excellent. Richie, congratulations, you got it. In this moment, Richie sees Lucid's shadow in Frey. If it's him, would definitely say so. Looks like my time is coming. For a moment, I thought you were Lucid. Lucid is my most trusted partner. My real name is Lucas Traumen. It was to defeat His Holiness and recross back. Archmagister. It turned out to be you. No wonder it finally makes sense now. Lucid and I are proud of you. Li Chi, you are the most trusted partner of both of us. It's been a hard time for you. Rest in peace at the end of your life. Li Chi smiled. He's right. I feel like it's all worth it. Li Chi once said, Demigate is different from humans. They are an extremely pure energy in their own right. Naturally, no body will be left behind after death. The only proof that Richie was in this world. Only the box in Frey's hand. Same as before. Frey will face the mighty Demi alone. Bite didn't have time to be nostalgic. He also had to complete 2 things that Ridge had entrusted him with. But before leaving, Frey left Richie's sword next to the acolyte. Because Lucid once said, stick a knight's sword in his grave. It is the highest respect for this knight. Battles based on the destroyer. The castle was completely destroyed. Until Demigate is all gone. Talent from major organizations is finally showing its shape. After seeing the battle between the destroyers with their own eyes, Shirel got it. The gap between himself and Demigate. Even if all the people from the major organizations join forces, it's definitely not the opponent of this group of Demigate. But at this time, they saw Frey, who was still in the sky. Charl they remember. This man was the minions of the previous swordsman. The other party is just a minion. Everyone grabbed him together. Let's get some information. Jerome's thing isn't that simple. Leave it to me first. Compared to simple-minded Jerome, Sapel is confident that he can do better. Carl Laketon, you should know where we come from. I just want to ask you one question right now. Are you our enemy or our friend? Faced with the problem of Sapler, Frey didn't answer. We already know you're the swordsman's minions. But he had just slaughtered his own people, even before it was. Here the innocent slaves were freed. I can't figure out if you're friend or foe now. Carl replied to me. Are you really our enemy? Frey still didn't answer his question. At this moment, his eyes were already looking at the crowd below. Looking at his second brother, Shadsbrick. Just now Richie asked him to go to the Black family. Now he has a plan. The next second, Frey directly released the divine power in his body. Almost at the same time, Jerome directly picked up the broadsword and rushed up. But his attacks were completely unable to break through Frey's defenses. See this scene in front of you. And all the people of the earth were astonished. You must know that the person in front of you is the minion of the swordsman. But the divine power he uses is the thunder and lightning attribute. At least until then, Tissue encounters minions. This has never been the case. But not wait for them to be surprised. Something even more amazing happened. This man named Carl. I actually used the space control skill. This means, this minion in front of you, still an 8-star great magician. Cadres of major organizations know it. Divine power and magic cannot coexist. At the moment, Xia was the only one who felt something. Soon he received a message from Frey. Let's talk about it separately. Shez realized. The person in front of him should be his younger brother Frey. But this time, Cheryl bit her finger directly. Prepare to summon demons. Just summon Lilith. Then their combat effectiveness will be greatly improved. But to their surprise, Frey is actually with Charl too. The same action was made. Degenzer clearly didn't expect it. This guy can actually summon demons. I saw 2 huge waves of demonic chi surging, the great work of the 2 demon realms, and appeared in front of everyone at the same time. Let me see who this is. We haven't seen each other in almost 100 years. Shut up. Didn't you just attack my contractor not long ago? Azura, what the hell are you talking about? I don't understand it at all. It doesn't matter. I've wanted to teach you a lesson a long time ago. How can a succubus be in a position where he can do great things? You're still so rude. Then satisfy my hunger and thirst with your blood. People from large organizations. I have never encountered such a powerful minions. He doesn't just have magic and magic at the same time. He can even summon the Grand Duke of the Demon Realm. Use it for yourself. As it stands, Lilith for a moment, unable to separate the winner from the Azura. So Cheryl and the others can only rely on their own strength. Human fights. You are now a burden. Get out of here. Charles, sir. I don't want to say it a second time. This is not a battle that you can meddle in. Get out of here. We know. You need to take care. Charles, sir. After saying that, Sapler fled with Jerome. I didn't expect you to let them go so easily. Looks like you're pretty confident. Because my goal was you from the beginning. Truthfully recruit Demigate. What exactly is going on inside? Don't make a fuss. Haven't you tried it once before? It didn't work for me. Last time. After all, I had only heard about it from Lilith. Now see Shirel with your own eyes. Only then did I know how perverted Frey's mental power was. You just said your target was me. What does that mean? Vampire girl. Oh no. You should be called Auntie or Grandma. I remember you vampires were about the jungle. The strong are respected. So I want you to serve me. What a little guy who doesn't know how thick the sky is. Said. Cheryl directly unleashed all her power. After transforming into a vampire form, Cheryl's combat effectiveness will be greatly improved. And more importantly, he can use the power of demonics. I didn't expect them to be hundreds of years old. I actually like to fight a war of attrition. That being said, But viewer was still surrounded by Charlotte's bats. But this time, he quietly stretched out a hand. Almost instantly, terrifying thunder and lightning erupted from Fule's body. The bat summoned by Charal. It was also reduced to ashes in an instant. Meanwhile, His Holiness came to the snowy fields in the north of the world. Richie once told Frey, "There's also a freak from Demigate there. I don't know how long I walked." Finally, a figure appeared in front of His Holiness. If it weren't for the precedent of Richie, almost no one can see it. The woman is a Daride. "Long time no see. Arya, didn't I warn you not to come to this place? His Holiness has something important to tell you this time. Richie is dead." "What, this is possible? How could Richie have been killed by me?" "What nonsense. How could you possibly kill him? For he has slain countless of his kindred and betrayed our beliefs. So I can only punish him." After being stunned, Arya's eyes were full of coldness. "Then you tell me, what are you sad about now? Arya, you take Richie's place. You should know exactly what my answer is. Get out of the way and face Arya, who is outrageous." His Holiness was unusually calm. "I will come back. When the time comes, no matter what you say, it will be useless." After expressing your intentions, His Holiness left without looking back. After His Holiness left, Arya stood alone in the cold wind, until the figure of His Holiness disappeared from sight. Arya felt like she had been drained of all her strength. He couldn't believe what he had just heard. He couldn't believe that Richie was really dead. The Vampire Queen does not hesitate to reveal her identity. Kill Frey here too. But to his surprise, his own attacks had no effect on Frey. The Bat Arrow Demon he summoned. It didn't even play any role in procrastinating. As a last resort, Shirel could only urge more magic. I saw only a Cerberus. Suddenly appeared next to Frey. It's just a pity that his offensive. It was still blocked by the protective shield around Frey. But at this time, Frey noticed that the shield was actually showing signs of breakage. Next 1 second Cerberus. He actually bit through Frey's shield. But Frey didn't know it. Cerberus is really just a means to attract attention. In that time, Cheryl had already summoned 2 more. A more powerful demon. You granny can summon so many things. It's amazing. Shut up. You megalomaniacal fellow. Almost at the same time, the 3 demons all rushed towards Frey. Frey, on the other hand, retreated on one side, while accumulating the divine power in the body. In the next second, a terrifying thunderbolt divine power hit straight into the center of the battlefield. Wait for the smoke to clear. All the demons were destroyed. Cheryl watching from the sidelines. I don't know when I disappeared without a trace. It turned out that at the moment when the thunder and lightning fell, he had crept into Frey's shadow. You can see Frey's expression. He seemed to have guessed Charlotte's intentions a long time ago. Almost at the moment when Cheryl appeared, Frey stomped on his chest. You're a good old woman. It's just that the strength is too poor. Stop. I didn't think about what would happen to you guys from the beginning. What do you mean? You're the one who provokes first, right? I just want to see what you're capable of. It's enough to fight against Demigate. What do you mean? Do you want to fight them? Are you kidding? Aren't you Demigate's teeth? I'm not asking for your opinion. You just have to accept it, because I'm better than you. You are not in a position to refuse my offer. Cheryl was upset though, but he understood. That's just the way it is. And judging by the battle of the demons, Lilith is no match for Azura either. Lilith, go back first. Why, I'm about to get the upper hand. Well, I recognize your strength. Didn't you say you were going to teach me a lesson? It's me who lost. From now on, you are my master. Hear this. Azura and Lilith also stopped what they were doing. What a pity. I just warmed up. Goodbye, Azura. Let's go back to battle it out next time. That's it. The great achievements of the 2 demon realms disappeared in front of the 2 of them. What's the matter? I'm also a vampire queen. It is impossible to give in easily to anyone. You want to make a pact with my blood. It's really cunning. If my strength is not enough, Isn't that being manipulated by you? How did it get to this point? On the contrary, are you scared? How can it be? Then come on. With that, Frey took the initiative to unwrap his clothes. Almost instantly, Cheryl took a bite out of Frey. Then Frey's consciousness was dragged into a wonderful space. That's what you really are. Is this the space you made? That's right, it's the void. There is no concept of time here. In simple terms, I can lock you up here until you give in. Cheryl, on the grounds of the contract, dragged Viewer into the void. He was going to keep Viewer here until he succumbs. I don't want to laugh at you. It's more than the one I know. It's no different from heaven. After all, my flesh is still insensitive. Nor was it deprived. And you're with me. Cheryl was curious to see what Frey was talking about. But looking at the way he looks, he's not lying. In his cognition, no matter how strong a human being's spiritual power is, it is also impossible to hold on here for 1 year. Cheryl finally couldn't help it. Tell me who you really are. Since that's what you want to know, then I'll tell you the answer. For a moment Cheryl's consciousness followed Frey, came to the bottomless abyss. That's where Frey was imprisoned by His Holiness for 4,000 years. Frey will feel how he feels tortured in the bottomless abyss. Through a contract between the two. Passed to Cheryl. Are you okay? And that's just what happened to me for a year. 100 years later, I've completely lost consciousness. When I woke up, only to find out that 4,000 years have passed. Cheryl couldn't have imagined. How can a human being endure such suffering? A figure popped into Cheryl's mind. A man who suddenly disappeared 4,000 years ago. This vampire queen who has lived for hundreds of years. Without warning, he began to cry. Could it be that you are the great Magus? Master Lucas Traumen. It's your mom. It's really your mom. I'll ask you again. Do you want to obey me? After adjusting your emotions, Cheryl made a vow to die. Wait for the sun to set. Call Shazbrick here. Remember to let him come by himself. Did you come back to bring down the demigate? Cheryl, who lived for hundreds of years. For the first time. So hopefully a human affirmative answer. Yes, I'm back this time. It's to completely destroy the demigate. After all that is said, Frey left without looking back. For the first time, Cheryl felt that there was finally hope. Can defeat demigate. After leaving here, Frey came to the Torquay Mountains. This was the place where he first saw the immortal bird. He needed an answer. It didn't take long. A flame slowly coalesced behind Frey. The two had not communicated before, but the immortal bird still came. You're finally here. I've been waiting for you here. I didn't expect you to change so much during this time. I just wanted to ask you a question. Tell the truth. I didn't expect to meet you there. Tell me why you're a minion of Agni. That's what you intended. Or is it because of other hardships? Tell me the truth. I'm ready to eradicate all of Demigate. If your answer dissatisfies me, then I'll have to get rid of you. No kidding. It's up to you. If you have the ability, try it. That's my answer. After that day, I've been waiting to eat you alive. Are you Tolka? The eyesight is good. It's weird. You're supposed to be an immortal. Why aren't you dead yet? Before twisting your neck. I'm never going to die. It was at this time. The immortal bird suddenly clutched its head and screamed. The undead became Agni's minions. Frey was curious. Is there something else hidden in this? It turns out that I am using this body at the moment. In fact, it was Tolka, whom Frey had killed. It was at this time. The immortal bird suddenly clutched its head and screamed. My head hurts. Got it. Got it. I'm sorry to live with such a madman. It's driving me crazy. What's wrong? Are you sick? It's when that bastard of the dead bird absorbs my corpse. I absorbed my consciousness as well. So in order to snatch the dominance of the flesh, we fought against it for a long time. It's a pity, though. In the end, I still lost. Now I'm a prisoner. Immortal birds as long as they want. I can erase my consciousness at any time. I'm Torquay, but now I have to keep my voice down every day in order to survive. I have to be taught a lesson by him. Then why is it your immortal Birdman who is coming out now? Because I am the one who became the minions of Yagari. He's afraid he'll find out if he's been in contact with you lately. Just let me out. When looking for teeth. The reason is simple. I was absorbed later. This bastard. He waits. Can you not call yourself a bastard? Let's talk about it. Isn't it okay to be polite? He doesn't have a name. How could a chick like him possibly have a name? Wait a minute. It's disgusting. What the hell are you shy about? He just told me to ask you to help him build one. Let me give me a name. That's right, that's what he said. The name Nyx is not bad. He said he liked it. You're endless. Shy fart. The story of the matter has to start from that time. After I died, the Nyx took control of the region. But suddenly one day, Yagni appeared. It almost scared me to death. Lived so long. For the first time, I felt what fear was. But the Nyx actually wanted to fight him. I knew he was a madman, but I didn't expect to even care about my own life. He didn't have any plans at all. At the last moment, I stopped the Nyx, gave him a suggestion. I advised him to surrender obediently. Let's save my life first. You've met a person. Is there a situation where the expression and the speech do not match at all? Yardine at the time. To the powerful immortal birds. There was a lot of interest. Of course, it was thanks to him who ate my heart. If we want to live, can only become Agni's minions. It's really unproductive. You're the king of Drake. What about you? Aren't you also Richie's minions? But that guy is really good. I actually killed 3 high-level by myself. Demi-dead. You were originally a chatterbox? I haven't spoken in a long time. You know what? That's right, Richie. How is he now? It's a shame to die. Richie's goal is to eliminate Demigate. Because our purpose is the same. I'll be his minion. Sounds good. Then let's join in. What is there to fuss about? Actually, we don't want to be Agni's minions. And I know. Where is Yagni hiding now? He's hiding somewhere in the Gallic Desert. You're pretty good, kid. Is it the Nyx Femdom? It will take at least a year for him to recover. We need to hurry up. I'll let you know as soon as I have any other information. Be careful. This is what Nixtao told you. Be careful, too. It's better to stay in the mountains in peace. After writing about the immortal birds, Frey returned to the kingdom of Leonov. Charlotte came alone on Cheryl's orders, although he had already guessed some of the truth. But I was still a little surprised when I saw it with my own eyes. The tusks we've been tracking are really you. Frey, it seems that you have finally absorbed the crystallization of Lucas. I heard that you met with the president of the Traumen Roundtable. Suddenly vanished. But why did you become Demigate's teeth? I've heard the secrets of the Black family. I heard that the family has become the richest man in the Rhine. It has become an experimental field for the study of the fusion of divine power and magic power. Xia Zi's expression was a little complicated, but he clearly knew the truth. Charles, you tell me. Which side are you on? I'm neutral. I just wanted to save my life. You're so cunning. I actually want to survive this way. I'm ready. Take me back to the Black family. Why go back? I'm looking for something. What is it? It's none of your business. But listen up. The Black family. It will definitely face extinction in the future. Why do you insist on walking with me? That's your home too. Because if I go back suddenly, the minions of the Rhine will surely doubt me. Xiazi suddenly became curious. Is the Frey in front of him really his younger brother? I know I'll take you back. Lord Charles also said we fully cooperate with you. And he didn't let us ask more. What the hell is going on? I really didn't expect that. The haughty Shirel will think so highly of you. It didn't take long. Charles took Frey back to House Black. I don't know why. Frey had a strange feeling in his mind. He seemed to be afraid of something. He finally took on the role of Frey. Back to the family that made him choose to give up everything. At the moment of seeing the two of them, the guards at the gate all saluted Shaz. But they were all curious. Who is this person who is following the second young master? I've only been gone for a long time. Have you forgotten about me? Are you Frey? The young master is finally back. It was at this time. Charles suddenly saw it. A carriage that does not belong to the Black family. What's going on? Is there a guest at home? That's right, not so long ago. Her Royal Highness the Third Empress has just arrived. After a little understanding, Charles took Frey and walked to the mansion. Since recent years, our family is very close to Her Royal Highness the Third Princess, but he usually only communicates with his mother. To know, Rhine's fangs are Frey's mother, right? The words of the Third Princess. It's not called pure. That's right, everybody's over there. Let's hurry over too. Her Royal Highness the Third Empress is smart and distinct, deeply favored by the Emperor, although she is 25 years old this year. But in order to strengthen their own power, he has never been married. It's a shame to be 25 years old. Be quiet. Don't just talk about women who are past marriage. If he is 10 years older, I'm definitely going after him. It was at this time. Frey's eldest brother saw the two. Xiazi hasn't seen her for a long time. Xiazi didn't say too much to greet. He simply saluted Pure. Why did you come back without saying a word? What's going on? Why did you come back with Xiazi? Frey finally returned. The Black family, who once abandoned themselves. Just look at the way they look. Frey's arrival doesn't seem to be welcome. His parents' attitude was also extremely cold, as if Frey was just an inconsequential person. Long time no see. My father's distinguished guest came to visit. We'll talk about family things later. Hello, I'm Pialidia Castella, Her Royal Highness. You don't have to worry about this kid. But the next scene. Indeed, let all the people of the Black family. They were all a little surprised. I'm Frey from the Black family. Her Royal Highness, the Star of Glory who can meet the royal family. It's my pleasure. Although I'd love to show you around, but I just got home. It has not been dusted. Shameless to face you. In order not to affect the mood of Her Royal Highness. Can you allow me to retire first? The people of the Black family could not have imagined. This is actually Frey, who was once kicked out of the house. Miss Sar who saw it all. His complexion became extremely gloomy. Charles was as aloof as ever. Then I'll step back too. That's it. The four watched as Charles and Frey walked into the mansion. Unexpectedly, Duke Lit also had a son. He was far worse than his brothers. I don't think so. Meanwhile, Charles and Frey came to the room. What's next for you? Since I haven't been back for a long time. Of course I want to take a good rest. You don't have to act. Just keep it as it is. Rumors about you have reached here. Many people already know that you have defeated pirates. He also became friends with Farron. Even went to the magic tower. If you're going to keep acting now, people will definitely doubt you. Got it. Thank you for reminding me. That's it after leaving next time. Frey cultivates alone. In the evening, suddenly, a sudden sound of the door opening interrupted Frey's cultivation. The head of the family, please. It's time for dinner. As a servant of the Black family, the man didn't even look at Frey. Because in his opinion, this garbage, it simply tarnished the reputation of the Black family. It didn't work out. The next second, Frey suddenly appeared behind him. Don't forget to knock on the door before you come in. I'll let you go this time, but not necessarily next time. Men somewhat do not understand themselves. Why be afraid of this garbage? Isn't he the same Frey he used to be? It didn't take long. The Black family finally came together at the table. Father sent someone to the magic tower a long time ago. Why are you only coming back now? Because there are so many things going on during this time. Frey didn't take that to heart at all. You ignored your father's recall order. Do you know what that means? Enough to tell me. After you leave the tower, where the hell has this time gone? I just traveled around without a purpose. Use this to boost your magic. Do you deserve the word travel, too? It seems that you have become as complacent as rumored. But there is no strength. Those imaginary things alone still can't achieve self-fulfillment. You have been ordered to drop out of school. I can't even stay in the magic tower anymore. Aren't you just a deserter? Do you really think we can't guess? But no matter what Miss All says, Frey was just calmly drinking tea. He had only been home for half a day, was treated like this by his family. So he decided, help the owner of this body fight back a little. I'm not a deserter. Then tell me about it. What did you gain from this period of travel? I don't know, but at least I'm better than you. Back to the first thing about the Black family. Turned out to be the eldest brother who provoked himself. To know Misal, always the most wonderful child of the Black family. So here's something like that. Leek couldn't help it. Laugh out loud. It seems that you have indeed gained a lot of knowledge. A coward who didn't even dare to look at me before. I'm a lot braver now. Even I, the elder brother, am happy for you. But you don't seem to understand the difference between self-confidence and complacency. It's been a long time since we've eaten together as a family. Can you stop arguing over this little thing? Hear this. Misal was visibly unhappy. He immediately looked at Rick. It's a matter between you. You don't have to ask for my consent. Well, think of it as an after-meal exercise. After coming with me to Misal, the rest of the Black family rose to their feet. Aren't you going to go to Shaz? I'm not interested in this kind of thing. Char's thought. Frey is trying to find out who is really teething. And in the eyes of Schatz, Misal could never have been that person. So he didn't want to see the misery of Misal with his own eyes. But he was still a little worried. Worried about whether Frey would kill him. At this moment, Misal was a little curious. A few years ago, Frey, who falls to the ground if he is touched by himself. At this moment, he put on a smug expression. He wondered if Frey was pretending. Still really crazy. You strike first. Hearing this, Frey was a little curious. Do you really think I'm going to fight you with all my might? I just want to teach you a lesson. But Frey also had a lot of scruples in his heart, because the minions of the Rhine were also present. He can't reveal his full strength. Ultimately, he decided to use the magic he had used most often. The moment when the Olympiad saw the Olympiad bomb, Misal was a little disappointed. I thought you'd use 3-star magic, but not wait for him to finish. The Olympiad bombs came straight at him. Misal, who was still distracted just now, could only dodge in embarrassment. You can see the power of the Olympiad bullet. Misal was a little surprised. An ordinary alien magic can really have this. What a terrifying power. But even more surprising things were yet to come. I saw Frey rushing straight over. The Black family, a family of magic. It stands to reason that there will be no such way of fighting. But experienced Misal, or used the ice blade for the first time. But Frey actually used his fists. He shattered all the blades in front of him. Misal could not have imagined. How exactly did Frey do it? Don't wait for him to think about it. Frey's offensive struck again. As a promoted magician, Misal simply had no chance to resist. He's like a little chick, picked up by Frey. That's how Little knew. Frey actually learned the Demon Dao martial arts. You stinky boy. How dare you be disrespectful to me? Saying that, Misal used the Vulcan technique. In an instant, his whole body was enveloped in flames. Take away one of your arms. It should be the price of disrespect to me. To Miss Sar's surprise, surrounded in flames, Frey was nothing out of the ordinary. Are you worthy of being called a flame too? It's not hot at all, said. Frey punched Misal in the face. With a punch falling, the battle between the siblings also came to an end. Ray only relies on Olympiad bullets and physical skills. Successfully crushed his eldest brother Misal. He didn't know. Will the real Frey feel a little better at the moment? Now no one will treat Frey like garbage anymore. In order to make up for the innate deficiencies, I actually learned the Demon Dao martial arts. That's pretty good. According to the memory of this body, this was the first time my father had complimented Frey, because I feel like I'm magical. There will be no greater development. But magic is also used in demonic martial arts. Your mana sensitivity should have increased a lot. You do get stronger. This time, Lead also walked over. My baby, I'm so proud of you. You know, these people are kicking Frey out of the house. One of the culprits who killed him. Even if you feel nauseous. Frey still had to pretend to be happy. Thank you next. Leet led Frey into the courtyard. Do you remember the pure princess? Of course, I forgot to tell you. He came to our house to get engaged. Later, the third princess who was deeply favored by the emperor. I'm going to be my daughter-in-law. After all, both Misal and Charles are of marriageable age. Frey believed. The Black family is married to the royal family. Certainly not for the sake of politics. There must be some conspiracy in it. So many years. I didn't even care much about you. How do you feel about yourself? Although the third princess is not young, but she is indeed a talented woman. Even I don't think you're worthy of her. But it was too sudden. Mother thinks the princess seems to have a good impression of you. Think no further. After all, you've been recognized by your family. Frey only thought it was a little funny. It turns out that there is still a need for recognition among family members. Does it make a difference if you are recognized? For example, of course. You can share our family secrets. Give you 3 days to think about it. Think about it during this time. In order not to make Ladier suspicious. Frey didn't immediately agree to his proposal. Before finding out the truth, he had to disguise himself as much as possible. But with him defeating Misal, the attitude of the people of the Black family towards him, and that changed. Young master, you're finally back. When you are away, I've cleaned the room. For such a bully who is afraid of the hard. Frey didn't want to talk to them much. I'm going to sleep. You go out. I'm a sensitive person. No one is allowed in until tomorrow morning. In the dead of night, a black kitten appears next to Frey's bedside. If someone approaches with hostility, wake up immediately. I'm here to learn more. Frey decided to use soul magic to explore. Although the average person will never be able to spot Frey, but he still has to be as careful as possible, because Right is a minion of the Rhine. So it is quite possible that the Rhine is hiding in the Black family. In the underground of the Black family, Frey heard Little's voice. No way. Do you really want Frey to marry the royal daughter? It can't be helped. You can't let Misal, who has a broken nose bone, pass. Why do you have to be the princess of Pioret? Be your own daughter-in-law. Don't forget. He's been keeping it up. We must get the pure princess. Because only he can give us what we want. Something we wanted. Lord Rhine needs him. Sule uses the spirit technique. Sneak into the Black family's underground. Here he met his parents, who were talking. Something Lord Rhine needs. You're talking about Illinois. Beware of partition walls with ears. Lord Rhine has given the order. Let's keep this a secret. But I still can't understand it. Isn't that an alloy made by Lord Rhine? Why do you need the help of the pure princess? That's it. Leet didn't want to hide anything more. We need Ohar. Ohar is the core material used in the manufacture of Illinois. And only the royal daughter can get this thing in large quantities. Although he doesn't know why we want Ohar now. But if you want to increase orders in the future, maybe he'll find out one day. So, as long as he becomes a member of our Black family, then we can rest easy. Frey finally understood at this moment. The weakness of the Black family is the royal daughter. I have one more question for you, though. Lord Rhine. Where is he now? Hear this. Frey hurried up as well. Earl, immediately. It's none of your business. Leet finished. After that, he left without looking back. As the titular head of the Black family, I immediately felt very humiliated. It didn't take long. Frey's soul returned to his body. The results of this investigation in this case are very significant. He already knew the real weakness of the Black family. Leet was following Rhine's orders. Mass production of Illinois gang. And judging by Leet's reaction just now, the real leader of House Black is Leet. And he wants the royal daughter to marry into the Black family. It's for the core material Ohar. So want to stop Demigate. The key to producing Illinois steel. Its whether or not pure can be controlled. Frey now needs to make one. An opportunity to chat with him alone. But Pure was a princess. It's not going to be easy. But to Frey's surprise, Pure came to the door early the next morning. And he seems. I also wanted to take the initiative to create opportunities to be alone with Frey. Look what I'm talking about. The princess must have a crush on you too. I came to visit you so early. Isn't it a bit abrupt? You're overthinking. Didn't say hello to you properly yesterday. I've always been concerned about it. So Frey took Pure alone. Start with a visit to the Black family. In order to complete Demi-Gates's big plan. Leet felt that the wait was worth it. I heard you're a friend of Firen. I used to hang out with him when I was a kid. But halfway through the conversation, Pure suddenly pretends that she is tripped up. Frey couldn't stand it anymore. I could only reach out and hug him. Are you okay? Thank you, Frey. Frey thought Pure wasn't as good as she had been rumored. But he suddenly felt it. There was something else in Pure's palm. Excuse me. I suddenly forgot. I have to go to an important meeting. Lord Frey. I'm looking forward to working with your next meeting. This series of changes came as a real surprise to Frey. Only through this one contact. And he concluded. Piol won the Emperor's favor by virtue of his strength. The note Pure left behind reads, Friday at 2 a.m. Wake up to Mirage Hostel. 3B Raj Hostel in the room. Pure is touching up her makeup with a makeup mirror. I didn't expect Her Royal Highness to touch up her makeup at night. It seems that the man is not simple. You should dress up once in a while. Cool tones should work well for you. Be your bodyguard. I can't leave any trace of the enemy. A woman's face is the most powerful weapon. Sometimes 100 words are less than a smile. It was at this time. There was a knock on the door of the hotel room. Lord Frey. I've heard that you're now at the top of the Traumen Roundtable. I didn't expect you to be interested in the Traumen Roundtable. Actually, the person who is interested is my master. And I know it too. Thanks to the originally declining Traumen Roundtable. To rise again. But I didn't expect that. You, a great hero, have abandoned the organization again. Hang out and about. It was a surprise. If I'm not mistaken, I guess you should have some plan. Meanwhile, the crowd of the Traumen Roundtable. Small organizations in the vicinity are being reclaimed. Let's defend ourselves against foreign enemies together. You don't really think of yourself as the leader, do you? Just kill you, the president. The Traumen Roundtable will be the same as before. Moment of truth. A bolt of lightning struck the assassin in the air. Someone who just made a move. It was Frey. Isabel who remained at the Traumen Roundtable. Listen up. Our Traumen Roundtable will be different. Either give up being human. Either fight alongside us. I just found someone who could replace me. There can be one. Trustworthy companions are a lucky thing, isn't it? Her Royal Highness the Empress Pure. Whether it's a companion or a subordinate. As long as there are trustworthy people. What do you mean by that? I'm just expressing regret. Didn't we say we would meet alone? There were just the two of us here. I see. Her Royal Highness the Empress Pure. I misunderstood you. Look, there's still an intruder here. The moment of exposure. Bolonica immediately rushed at Frey with a knife. Frey blocked the attack with a shield with one hand. The other hand was placed on Bolonica's head. Stop, he's my bodyguard. Yes, why didn't you say it sooner? If only it had been a few seconds later. This woman is about to die. I didn't expect the assassin to be a guard. Her Royal Highness Pioret has a unique vision. Pure was a little curious. Who exactly is Frey? Is he really only in his 20s? There was a little hiccup just now. Let's move on. About Leet's plans. How much does Her Royal Highness know? You can tell the truth. Because I'm not in the same league as the Black family. He wanted me to get out of the royal family. Join the Black family. And then wanted to get some kind of material from me. Materials, why do you think so? These years. The Blake family has already tripled its order book. Although they claim it to the outside world. This is for the study of demonism. But it doesn't fool my eyes. Giant's blood. There are also 10 years of ginseng as well as ohar. These are all orders that they have increased. It's just that I don't know. What kind of material exactly do they want? You're smart. You were talking about these materials. There really is something they want. Because of the appearance of just a young man. But Pure took it from Frey. I felt the calmness of the old man. On Frey's body, Pure saw his master's shadow. Could you please tell me what that material is? Her Royal Highness the Empress Pure. Do you still want to be neutral? Please answer my question first. Demigate. The conquest of the entire continent is about to begin. Minimum 1 year. The longest is only 2 years. If you don't resist, at most, they will only live for 2 years. You dare to threaten Her Royal Highness. Frey just snapped her fingers. Bellonita felt a terrifying pressure. The gap between the two is just too great. Pure. Knowing that this conversation has been dominated by Frey. Do you have any proof? Demigate has been impressed for 4,000 years. Why are they going to have an accident now? Because they have no worries. What Leet wants is Ohal. I've heard that only you can get your hands on it. I see. That stuff will push them to plan ahead of time. So if I'm not on Demigate's side, Leet will definitely threaten me to get Ohal. I know. Do you mean you want me to join an organization? How can it be? Today's organizations simply can't keep you safe. If you don't belong to an organization, do you have any plans then? Join forces with me. I'm here to be your guardian. The moment I heard this, Pure blushed. As Leet said, he did have a bit of interest in Frey. See this? Was reminded by Ronica in a whisper. Pure, even if I'm in danger, I don't have to bother you with the big fight. I'm afraid of death, or I'd have retreated into the background. I chose a comfortable life. If I'm not mistaken, you should have a backstage. Let me think about it. Could it be the 11th Magic Tower? Tower Master, you are really powerful. If you can you arrange for him to meet with me? Sorry, it's hard, because I don't know where he is. Could it be that even Her Royal Highness the Imperial Daughter is in contact? Not to him. This is the only way I can communicate with my master. But this thing, only the master can contact me unilaterally. But Pure had just taken it out. The ball in his hand reacted immediately. The Tower Master of the 11th Magic Tower appeared. Hello, Frey. Black. The man used a magic prop to hide his face. Frey couldn't see him clearly. I've heard all of your conversations. You think up to 2 years. Demigate will begin his crusade against the world. Actually, I think so too. Listen to your tone. I seem to know something too. The Master's strength is much stronger than both of us. Don't be rude. Excuse me, Her Royal Highness. I don't want to talk to sneaky people. Peel doesn't matter. He's right. This one's strength is actually beyond your imagination. Not long ago, Lyanov's Order of the Black Dragon wiped out overnight. I suspect this was Demigate's doing. You're right. It was done by Demigate, who manipulated death. Noel, this guy deserves to be a destroyer-level powerhouse. You shouldn't be eavesdropping on this beat a lot. But why do you know everything about the major organizations? You are very smart. So who do you think I am? The Master of the Ori Princess. It is actually the Tower Master of the legendary 11th Magic Tower. After hearing Pure's conversation with Frey, he finally showed up. Who do you think I am? You are the president of the former Destalin Laborers Association. This bead and the magic props on you. It's the technique of the Straw Riskers 50 years ago. At that time, the Straw Risky Association happened to have a change of president. And a master like you is definitely not willing to be resigned. It's amazing that you can tell who I am at a glance. That's right. I was the president of the Straw Insurers Association 50 years ago. Then why did you leave the organization in the first place? You know Pisa Asimo. Every had heard the name. That's the former president of the Traumen Roundtable. That is, Benin's father. He is now the president of the Traumen Roundtable. Benin's father. And my dear friend, his death. It exposes how much alignment there is within the major organizations. At that time, the 4 major organizations used the crusade against His Holiness as an excuse. Weaken the increasingly powerful Traumen Roundtable. Eventually, they killed their president. As the former president of the Hughes Sage Society, didn't stop this. At the beginning we said it was good to start with Demi. Save all humanity in the hands of Gate. But it's all my fault. If I had been president at the time, if only I could have been stronger. I'm so happy to meet you. Your eyes are a lot like Osir's. If you can, I'd like to ask you to bring Traumen to the round table. Join us. Say we don't mean you have other organizations now. In the 50 years since I left the organization, I found people who inherited the will of the heroes of the old era. Together, an alliance was formed. It's not the same as those corrupt organizations. Our goal is to defeat Demigate. Although it's nice to hear that. Thanks for the offer, though. I refuse to join you. The reason why I joined the organization, it's about revolutionizing them from within. Frey Blake, do you really think it's possible? What matters now is not the question of impossibility. Actually, the goals of those organizations that are just starting out. It's the same with you. But with the passage of time, when the backbone of the Lord leaves people one by one, they will become as corrupt and depraved as they are now. The end result is an internal problem. Or start anew, as you did. Rest assured, we won't change our beliefs. But it's human nature. You can't forget that. If you don't reflect on it, accept your imperfect self, then it's hard for us humans to get out of it. Demigate's control. It looks like you're exactly like Osir. I hope you can stick to this belief. Don't worry, that's what I'm supposed to do. Pure, you can help him. Nice to meet you. I'm talking to you. It's like seeing a friend I haven't seen in years. It's gratifying. You haven't told me your name yet. My name is Kalilo Wellsman. My proposal is still valid. If there is a need, we are willing to be your strongest ally. After Kalo finished speaking, disappeared in front of Frey. But Frey was a little surprised, because Kalo is from the Wellsman family. This is the letter that Hwesh has hidden. This means that Kalo is a descendant of Hus. After Kalo came forward, Free and Pure were on the same page. I would like to ask you for 3 things. Say it, since the master has already said it. Then I'll try to satisfy you. First things first. Postpone our engagement first. But you can't be too indifferent to me on the surface. You can rest assured. I'm the best at acting. Then for the time being, Ohar can no longer be sold to the outside world. If you don't want the Countess to find out, then I need some excuses. But it's easy to do. So what's the last thing? But Frey's next words. Pure was indeed a little surprised. Just look at Frey's expression. He's not kidding. Time flashed to the next day. Pure. Still not from the last thing Frey said. Come back to your senses. Her Royal Highness. Did you really decide to say yes to him? Of course. After all, the master also told me to fully cooperate with him. I don't know if it will be achieved in the end. Balanica. You remember. Sometimes it's a deviant. In order to make the most accurate judgment. And this kind of person, they tend to change the world. Meanwhile, Frey. He also expressed his willingness to marry Pure. You are now eligible. Become a part of our black family. Now tell Frey the family's secrets. After you guys are done, I'll wait for him in the basement. It doesn't feel like there's much to say. Stay here for an hour or so before going down. Let Shirel come here. I'll help you communicate. It's just that I don't know if he's going to come. You don't have to worry about it. He'll definitely come over. Looking at Frey in front of him, Charles suddenly felt a strangeness that he had never felt before. But even if the words have already reached the lips, but she still didn't ask. He was afraid to know the truth. He was afraid that the person in front of him was not his brother. It didn't take long. Frey went to the basement. How it feels to know the truth. It's a bit hard to believe, to be honest. Understandable. But don't worry. You'll understand after a while. The moment you walk into the room, Frey was completely stunned. It's full of human corpses. They were the subject of experiments by the Black family. No fuss. They're just test subjects. In addition to these experimental subjects, Frey also saw some strange people. They are the magicians of the Black family. And alchemists. Also a researcher here. How I feel that their state is a little strange. Yes, because I erased their ability to think. The thoughts of the individual can seriously affect the interests of the collective. Let them turn into thoughtless puppets. in order to manage effectively. Unconsciously, Leet led Frey to the end of the room. Frey felt the power from inside the door. And it's also a particularly powerful divine power. Remember to be a little more restrained for a while. The one inside is our master. Got the news. Frey was completely panicked. He didn't expect Rein to really be in black clan. Frey was afraid of being recognized by Rein, because he still has Andra's divine power in him. And he also has Heart's mask in his hands. And the core of Richie. Once met, Rein will surely find himself. Frey didn't know what to do for a while. Frey, what's wrong with you? Your face doesn't look good. Frey suddenly thought. Just take out Le here. Then all the problems will be solved. And now he has no way back. Once it fails, all plans were ruined. The door slowly opened. Rein was sitting inside waiting for Wright's arrival. Le, you're here pretty early. Who's that kid next to you? It looks a little bit eye-catching. It takes Frey to meet the Black family. Real hosts. The Supreme Master of the Rhine. Your most loyal servant. Greetings to you. Frey didn't want to be like Leet. Kneel down to demigate. But for their own plans. He finally gritted his teeth and knelt down. His name is Frey. He is the third son of his subordinates. I just came back a while ago. Let's put it this way. You have 3 sons. Then this. How's it going? Half of the amount has been collected. You shit. It's only been half of it for so long. Sorry, but our home Frey. Already ready to get engaged to the 3rd princess. Just turn him into our man. The materials will be ready in no time. The 3rd princess is a troublesome woman. If there is no 11th Demon Tower Lord and Baragon. Frey couldn't help but wonder. Who is Baragon? Could it be that he is a member of Kalo's alliance? This kid of yours really doesn't talk much. But I appreciate that about him. Raise your head and let me see what you really look like. You humans all look the same? It was at this time. The Rhine seems to have discovered something. He grabbed Frey's hand. A handful grabbed Frey by the neck. Just look at Rhine's expression. He must have discovered Frey's identity. Frey, if he doesn't take out Ladier here, then there is no chance of winning. Can be a second. Rein pressed Frey to the ground. Is your name Frey, Stinky Boy? You're such a rare genius. With that, Rein let go of Frey's neck. Lord Rein. Frey's talent is even better than Misa's. Very well, I have something to say to your mother. You get out of here first. Frey is well aware. Rein must have discovered his identity. Otherwise, he wouldn't stand between himself and Leet. It's just that Frey doesn't understand. Why did Rein let himself out of here? What's going on? Are you deaf and dumb? There is no such thing. Until Frey left, Rein was always in front of Leet. Cute little guys. We'll see you later. After Frey left, Rein immediately changed his tone. Did he get his powers? Not yet a second. Rein choked Wright's neck. This idiot. If you're not my minions, I'd have eaten you alive. With that, Rein directly threw Leet aside. I remember telling you before. Only waste does the wrong thing. Tell me about Leet. Are you a trash? Am I working with trash? No, no, no. Meanwhile, Frey was in the room. Build a magic circle that summons demons. He knows. Rein must have discovered the divine power in his body. And there was only one reason why he let himself go. That is, the Rhine can't do anything now. The other destroyers were seriously wounded. The Rhine is giving them divine powers. His strength has definitely dropped significantly. The Rhineland is actually buying time. This means, now is the best chance to kill the Rhine. But at this very moment, Hoshiazi suddenly came in. He found everything. What the hell is going on? What are you guys going on underground? Xiazi, I have to kill Ladier today. Frey draws the magic circle. When you are ready to fight to the death with the Rhine. Charles found out all about it. Zaz, I'm going to kill Leet today. Charles was surprised though. But nothing was said. Compared to his own mother, Le, he seemed to care more about Frey in front of him. In the end, he asked the question in his mind. You're not Frey, are you? Tell me where my brother is. Brother? You still have the face to say that Frey is your brother. He was long dead. It was you and your family who killed him with your own hands. Do you know what kind of life he lives every day? He was bullied by a lot of people. It was tossed around like a rag. He was even abandoned by his family. He was tortured. Things that can be done. The only way to end your life is to end your own life. How could this be? You say he killed himself. But at this time, it was as if Frey had heard the voice of the real Frey. Don't pick my brother. He must have had his own struggles. But Frey still pushed Natsuki to the ground. You don't have the right to grieve for him. You don't deserve to be an older brother at all. You're right. But I've always hoped that Frey would get out of this hell. As she spoke, Xiazi pulled open her clothes. Seeing the scars on Xiazi's body that go deep into the bone marrow, Frey was also stunned. What the hell is going on with your body? Why did it become like this? Because it can hold both divine and magical powers. I've been treated as a test subject since I was a child. Want to be recognized within the Black family. I want to be an experimental subject for the rest of my life. Is that Miss R too? That's right. Miss R's personality became distorted. It's also related to being a test subject. If he doesn't think of himself as God's chosen one, humanity is estimated to have collapsed long ago. I deliberately used some tricks back then, so Frey couldn't use his magic. What you do? Why would you do that? The day Frey was born, he grabbed me with those little immature hands. I saw a big smile after seeing it. I swore to protect him, because I don't want Frey to suffer as much as I do. So I deliberately used some means. That's when Frey knew. Why did I enter this body at that time? Unable to use mana. I thought he just had to leave the family. You can have a free and happy life. He was a kind child. But after being called a family disgrace, in order not to disgrace the family, he tried a lot of things. But why kill yourself? You stupid boy. Brother, I'm sorry for you. I thought you were leaving the family. Can escape from a tragic fate. It's me who was too rash. Frey could feel it. The real Frey was crying inside him. He was thanking his brother for his dedication. I also hate my weakness. Tell me if you're not Frey. So who the hell are you? Even if I say, you won't believe him either. It is your pleasure that the host is willing to talk to you. Charles didn't expect it. I just got in touch with him. Cheryl came at once. And why did he call this man his master? What the hell is going on? Why did he become your master? You'll know when the time comes. So don't talk nonsense. Follow him. Charles finally got the answer. His brother had long since died. The man in front of him was not Frey at all. Who are you? However, in the end, Xiazi still did not learn the truth. Because Cheryl has arrived. It all happened so suddenly. This man is not only using his brother's body, or the owner of Cheryl. Don't talk nonsense. Follow as much as I do. That's all there is to him. Charles had no other choice either. Zayas, I want to ask you for one thing. Something. There is a metal called Illinois steel. It was demiguy costume world time. Something that must be used. And Rhineland is processing Illinois steel through Luth. Charles, you're going to help me find a processing location for Illinois steel. If it's about the mother, there are a few places that are really questionable. I'll check it out later. Charles, you help me track down Leet's location. Be careful. Leet is a minion of the Destroyer. You can rest assured that it is not difficult for me. But I need some clues. He seemed to have received the message. Has hidden its tracks. If only there were some clues. You say you want leads. Isn't that simple? There are so many people in the Black family. Let's just find someone to ask. Said. A loud bang rang out from Frey's room. Time goes back a few minutes ago. Mount Rosewak in the Raiwendak mountain region. His Holiness is here. Take care of the 3 destroyers who are seriously injured. It was at this time. A wind-attributed divine power suddenly appeared behind His Holiness. Something has happened to His Holiness. What's wrong? I met the humans who had absorbed Andra's divine powers. Although I don't know where he is holy. But do you think he has anything to do with Richie? That's right, so. At that time, I didn't dare to take him back rashly. It's lightweight, in order to heal their wounds. My divine power has long been depleted. To be honest, I'm a little scared right now. I didn't expect that either. I'm going to be scared of a human one day. Calm down the Rhine. I'll send someone over. There are 3 in the vicinity of several Gaster empires. I asked them to come and support you. But they don't move in space. You have to wait at least 3 days. 3 days is still a bit of a stretch. Looks like I'm going to have to find a way to get Lair out first. Time comes back to the present. Frey is already in the Black family. There was a lot of movement. If he guessed correctly, Lion will definitely call for reinforcements. So time is running out. They had to find Illinois as soon as possible. It was at this time. A figure rushed out of the Black family's mansion. Frey, you stinky boy. What do you want to do? Tell me what you mean exactly. Can't you see it? The head of the Black family. How dare you be so arrogant? But without waiting for Let to say more, Frey directly opened the magic force field. For a moment, Wright couldn't use her magic anymore. He couldn't believe that Frey was an 8-star magician. And he is also an 8-star magician who can master space. Rit was about to adjust her body and land. Another icicle came at him. Ice magic. I didn't expect you kid to have some strength. Frey, in order to sabotage Demigate's plans, decided to make a big fuss in the Black family. Rit, who was the first to rush to the battlefield. Obviously, I didn't expect Frey's strength to be so strong. Without waiting for Wright to stand still, Frey's attack struck again. Losing her footing, Rit fell straight to the ground. And Frey seems to have expected all of this. Looks like I'm looking down on you. Is the 6th Demon Tower Lord this kind of strength? You stinky boy. It turns out that you went home for another purpose. You're right. Otherwise, why would I go back to this home? I shouldn't have kicked you out of the house in the first place. Rather, they are to be put to death on the spot. Because you weren't supposed to be born into this world. With immediately raised hands, something is constantly pouring out of the ground. It was a bunch of monsters that looked like flies. Is that what you did to your son? This is also an artificial creature made by the Rhine. He's a bad taste. Is this a fly or a human? Don't wait for an immediate answer. The monsters began to spew black liquid from their mouths. Frey subconsciously summoned an ice wall to block. To his surprise, the ice wall disappeared in an instant. As a last resort, Frey can only use his magic to dodge these attacks. For this strange liquid, Frey had a guess in his mind. You stinky boy. You dare to use ice magic in front of me. I didn't expect you to use divine power. I thought you were just a puppet master. But the next second, Frey was surrounded by these monsters. This is the power of God. No matter how much you struggle, nor can it be my opponent. Keelite wasn't done yet. I saw thunder in the air. The power of God. Don't be funny. With a loud bang, all the monsters that had just gathered around Frey were destroyed. That's impossible. Why do you use divine powers? Frey didn't answer little. He stood silently in the air. Electricity is constantly lingering all around him. If you get closer, you'll know. At this moment, Frey's eyes were extremely cold. Meanwhile, Cheryl is taking advantage of rats. Come and find the trail of Leet. After he gave the order, all the rats scattered and ran away. At the time of the destruction of the Black family's mansion, Cheryl sensed Leet's faint breath. Just search with these mice. He believed he would soon find his traces. It didn't take long. Cheryl walked through the eyes of the mouse. Saw Leet. In that hidden room, quite a few people were trapped by the planks. Leet was kneeling in the middle of Magic Town at the moment. Strange incantations were muttered in his mouth. After coming here, Cheryl found that he seemed to want to sacrifice a living person to increase the efficiency of magic. With the end of the spell, in the space in front of Leet, there was a strange fluctuation. I saw a foot slowly sticking out of it. Welcome, Lord Yapel. My name is Leet Black. I am waiting for you here on the orders of Lord Rhine. It's disgusting. Hey, I'm sick of it. I'm sorry for snubbing you. Lord Rhine ordered him to hide. So, Did you call me with these living people as sacrifices? If I come by myself, it can take up to 3 days. Rein's minions. You're good. Let the reinforcements arrive early. Wright activated the teleportation array with a human being as a sacrifice. I'll summon the other 2 adults before dawn. The target is my 3rd son. Got the news. Shirel decided to tell Frey about it. He's already on the move. We've got to stop bothering me as soon as possible. Before that, I'm going to catch a disgusting rat first. As he spoke, Yapel slowly raised his right hand. And with it, it was Charl hidden in the shadows. Cheryl couldn't have imagined. He was unexpectedly discovered by Demiget. Meanwhile, in another place, Charles also discovered something, although he had been mentally prepared for a long time. But I still didn't expect it to be so miserable. Over here. That's where the Black family made Illinois. After lifting the blood-stained curtain, Charles came to the depths of the room. If nothing else, these books contain information about Illinois. In order to find relevant information, Charles began to flip through the notes. Finally, in one of the books, Charles found a way to make Illinois gang. But he couldn't believe it. The Black family turned out to be such a place. Soon after, the battle on Frey's side ended. He's already suppressed little. It was at this time. Charles came over with what he had gathered. I found this space in the bag. There is something you want. I think they're Illinois Gonchad. Why should even you do this? Frey didn't expect it either. There are so many Illinois gangs in the Black family. Charles told me. Why betray the family? You know. Is Illinois steel made of what material? I only know that Ohar is the most important material. Tell me, what exactly is the magical power of Illinois steel? Do you know what Demigate's only fear is? That is the power of order in this world. They call this Force God. It's ridiculous, isn't it? The Demigate family has always claimed to be gods. But they are not really gods. And God, the indiscriminate massacre of the Demigate family. Divine punishment was laid, but they just need to absorb it. Can hide the divine power in his body. So this is what can make the Demigate family a panacea for evading divine punishment. Wait a minute, do you mean to say that's right? Demigate wants to pass through Illinois, flee God's punishment, thus conquering the whole world. I didn't expect our family to help the abuse. I just saw that. Illinois steel is made of human hearts in its material. Manufacture of 0.1 grams of Illinois steel. It takes 108 human hearts. However, I found dozens of kilograms of Illinois steel there. Other words, we, the Black family, are Demigate's chopsticks. Tell me how many people my family has killed. Bastard, you white-eyed wolf. How dare you talk to me like that? Answer me. Where the hell did you find so many people? It's actually quite easy. After all, there are many parents in this world. They were willing to sell their children for a silver coin. Anyway, they have been slaves since birth. Even if it disappears, no one cares. No one expected it. Illinois just needs a human heart to refine it. This means the Black family. Tens of millions of people have been killed for Demigate. Charles, don't pretend to be a good person here. Don't forget, you also have the blood of our Black family in your veins. So what? I'm just like him. He is also from the Black family. But so what? What a person does. Will it be limited by origin? That's right. The Black family shouldn't be here. You white-eyed wolves. I'm going to kill you with my own hands. But Litlet had just pounced. He was pressed to the ground by Frey again. Tell me quickly. Where did Lying go? Even if you kill me, I won't tell you either. That's fine. Otherwise, I wouldn't have the pleasure of torturing you. But at this time, a black figure flew towards Frey. Frey could only let go. Lit hurriedly caught the person flying over. The powerful force made Frey's whole person retreat again and again. The master runs away. It turned out that the figure just now was Charlotte. You have something to do with the Rhine. Actually, I can tell you. Be careful, host. His power is darkness. Even if I hide in the shadows, it's useless. You'd better run away. There will be 2 more demigates coming by before dawn. After a hard work, you can rest well. I'll take care of the rest. Charlotte will leave it to you. Wait a minute. Do you want to face demigate alone? That's right, wait a minute. You can't be alone. Frey didn't answer, but the look in his eyes says it all. I understand. Promise me not to die here. This is my brother's body. It's boring. Let me come over in such a hurry. I thought he was a master. Frey didn't say a word. The staff of the great sage was immediately summoned. The other party is Demi-Beat, who has the power of darkness. Frey had to be careful with his methods. You are a magician. It seems that the Rhine has indeed weakened. He would be afraid of a human. Frey did not answer. Immediately summoned an icicle and attacked. But Yapel only waved his hand lightly. He shattered all the icicles in front of him. The surroundings become as bright as daytime. It's as if absorbing all the darkness. That's it. The strength of Demigate, who has mastered the power of darkness. Yapel slowly raised his left hand. The darkness around them immediately condensed into small balls. Frey didn't hesitate. Immediately summoned the shield of the gods with divine power. To his surprise, even with divine power, he couldn't resist Yapel's attack. As a last resort, Frey could only use his strongest magic again. Smoke hell. But the flames dispersed. But Yapel used darkness. Wrap yourself tightly. It's boring. I can't get any interest in it at all. As a last resort, Frey could only think of a countermeasure while escaping. After finding an opportunity, Frey immediately released icicles to block Appel's view. If all other magic doesn't work, Frey had to try it out with white magic first. Take advantage of the moment when the icicles are shattered. Frey used the Holy Dome. At such a distance, Yapel had to absorb the darkness to fend off. Frey didn't know either. After the 2 opposing forces of light and darkness collide, the impact force generated. Can you do him harm? It's kind of interesting. I'm optimistic about you. Ray uses white magic to inflict a heavy blow on Demigate. Can be a second. Darkness all around. It gradually rushed towards Yapel's chest. Just for a moment. Yapel's injuries were fully recovered. Absorb the power of darkness from all around? It's amazing. Yes, as long as there is darkness in this world, then I will never wither. Even if you beat me. There are also 2 other demigates to help. Are you desperate? Said. Yapel continued to throw dark energy at Frey. After the previous temptation, Frey already knew he couldn't block the attacks. However, he also found that Yapel liked to attack with his left hand. Defend with your right hand. So Frey wanted to be before he defended. Block his right arm first. But Frey suddenly thought, as long as it's not dawn yet, I can't kill Demigate in front of me. Even if he survived until dawn, 2 more Demigates will arrive soon. Meanwhile, Xiazi didn't expect it either. Frey has been able to fight Demigate for so long. Shaz, you bastard. What exactly do you want to do? I'm thinking about what I'm going to do with you. White-eyed wolf, I can give you a chance. As she spoke, Shirel slowly crawled towards Right. This is your punishment for betraying the whole world. Little hadn't reacted yet. Cheryl bit him on the neck. Wait for Shirel to let go. Little's body was literally turned into a dried corpse. Charles, sir. What are you doing? Rest assured, he's not dead. I'm going to have to help the master. The rest of the work is up to you. I'm so disappointed in you. You were deceived by Frey. Betrayed the entire family. Be sober. Frey is lying to you. I'm the one who should be disappointed. I'm very disappointed in my family and myself right now. Looks like I'm not wasting any more time. At this moment, Frey is still desperately trying to deal with Yapel. But he knew it in his heart. This is not the way to go on at all. The master will leave it to his subordinates. Are you all right? For the first time today, the subordinate congratulated himself on being a vampire. But you are no match for him. Rest assured. Subordinates have their own methods. If the plan can be successful, maybe you can kill him. But not before Cheryl could finish. Yapel's attack is here again. The two of them could only dodge on one side, while discussing the next plan. How do you want to do it? His subordinates are going to teleport him to the demon realm. Just let Azura. The deity can deal with him. Although Lilith is difficult to deal with even in the demon realm, but the Azura Buddha figure may really be able to do it. So ask the master to draw a reverse summoning illusion array. Teleport it to the demon realm. There's no time now. After daybreak, there will be 2 more demigate tubes. At that point, we won't have any chance of winning. Although this plan could theoretically be implemented, but it needs the support of a very large amount of magical power, even if it's as strong as Charlotte. It may also be necessary to give one's own life. It was at this time Frey remembered Isabel, the girl who used to make him believe in other people. I'm ready to sacrifice. Okay, but I have one condition. You must not die. Rest assured. Then the subordinate will go first. But I've just finished speaking. Cheryl was hit by Appel's attack. Frey could only watch. Charlotte falls into the Black family. He wanted to go over and check on Cheryl's condition, but Yapel's attack was already close at hand. As a last resort, he had no choice but to dodge Appel's attack first. I don't know what you're going to do, though, but I'm not going to sit idly by. I thought you guys could make me happy, but now it's feeling more and more boring. Let's do it quickly. Frey kept calling out to Cheryl with a voice, but he never got a response. Cheryl at this time. He hadn't recovered from Yapel's attack yet. He couldn't move anymore. Available as planned. He also had to ask Frey to help draw a reverse teleportation array. Cheryl, who came back to her senses, suddenly found out. He was now lying on top of a summoning array. That's when he first came. Frey had already drawn the demon summoning array. And at the moment, Frey was also distracted, was choked by Abel by the neck. Fortunately, he finally waited. Cheryl's response. I'm going to start reversing the teleportation array. Please bring Demigate to me. Frey suddenly thought. Where Cheryl fell, there is a summoning array that he drew before. If I'm not mistaken, you like to defend with your right hand. Attack with your left hand. Other words, seal your left hand. Your left defense. As he spoke, Frey pointed directly at Abel. Unleashed the divine power in the body. This is Andra's divine power. How could you have this? Because of the attack. The surrounding balls of dark energy were all gone. Frey took advantage of the opportunity. Directly threw Yapel in the direction of the teleportation array. During the fall of Yapel, Frey made up another shot of eternal blazing. You want to use light to eliminate darkness. It's a beautiful thought. After the smoke clears, Yapel still wrapped himself in darkness. Just a human being. It can't be my opponent. Now is the time. Char'll do it. At the moment when Frey finished speaking, the teleportation array beneath Yapel, immediately it lit up purple. Their plan worked. Cheryl also survived unharmed. Here's what's next. It has nothing to do with Frey. In the hell sky of the demon realm, which is ruled by Azura, the black clouds are constantly surging.